The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for hosting? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and the close to a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you consider throwing a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Attention Lincoln riders, mark your calendars and get your gear ready. This is the weekend you've been waiting for. The official Honda factory demo truck is rolling into Nebraska for a massive two-day event. This Friday and Saturday, May 8th and 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, the big red Honda Semi will be at Rod's Power Sports in Southwest Lincoln, unloading a fleet of 22 brand new 2026 motorcycles. Experience the legendary Gold Wing, the adventure-ready Transalp, or the high-performance CBR sport bikes. They're all here and ready for you to ride. Bring your gear and your motorcycle endorsement because these test rides are free. Plus, just for completing a ride, Honda is handing out $250 in Demo Bucks coupons. You can use those savings toward any new, unregistered Honda two-wheeled motorcycle anytime within the next 30 days. At Rod's, it's a party for the whole family. We'll have free refreshments all weekend long with fresh brats served on Saturday. Saturday is also Family Day. Bring the kids out for fun games and activities while you check out the new lineup. Rod's Power Sports, 1030 Saltillo Road, your only Level 5 Honda powerhouse in Nebraska. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Dana Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
At Cedars, we're here to make sure that kids have the safety and stability that every child deserves, where they're protected and where they feel safe. You make this possible. Today, more than ever, we need your support to be here for kids who have nowhere else to call home. Now through May 28th, make a big impact through Give to Lincoln. Give to Cedars now at givetolincoln.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black Shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour one of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in Tuesday edition of Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Welcome to all of you joining us, driving around in your car, listening on your app. But if that's the case for you, you don't see who's in studio with me. Nick Sainert, welcome to Old School, my friend.
It is a great day because, Austin, you and I get to chop it up. We were just saying it's been a very long time since we've been able to do a show together for the last couple of months.
It's been, about a month since I filled in on the drive.
I think you filled in one morning on the drive.
One time.
Right?
Yeah.
So here we are. And I'm just glad. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Eric's response on the text line. And he says, "Oh, bleep off, Nick." Just like clockwork, Eric is there to make sure I'm grounded.
Did you? I don't know if you saw Eric's text from yesterday. Trying to find it. Yeah. So 3:02 p.m. yesterday. My man and the absolute hardest worker in the business, Jay freaking Foreman. Hope he had a great grilling weekend. Just for Jay to be gone.
That's unbelievable.
We sprung that one on Eric, and he was unprepared.
Good. I mean, I get it. I get it. I feel the same complaints when I feel the same complaints when I fill in for Jake on early break. People have a routine.
They do.
People have a routine. They like to listen who they usually listen to, and I cannot replace Jay Foreman. I'm not trying to replace Jay Foreman. But at the end of the day, Jay Foreman does owe me for a round of golf, so I do need to text him. And this reminds me everything because showing up in typical Jay Foreman fashion on Saturday, guess who showed up maybe 2 minutes before the tee time?
Jay Foreman.
Jay Foreman. And so
Typical.
just to speed things along, I said I'll pay for 2, and Jay Foreman has not paid me back.
Well, Jay still hasn't been able to pay for his steaks yet either.
Oh, is that so?
That is what I continue to be told. Once a month or so, that comes up.
That is a 2-year issue with Jay Foreman, is that he has not paid for a steak dinner like we were all supposed to get.
At what point do you just write it off? Do you write it off with Jay, or do you hold him accountable to it until he?
Well,
he
here's the deal. So Jay owes it from 2 years ago. Raph owes it from this past year. And
so Raph moved away to duck paying for steaks.
Moved away for ducking, or to duck paying for steaks.
Tough look.
It is a bad look. I think we can't necessarily write it off. It's more so of, look, Jay, initially we needed to go to a nicer place. It's okay if it's now just Outback. Just get it done.
Right.
That's the plan now. But anyway,
any steak, right?
Any steak. I'd be happy if Jay said, "Hey guys, come on over. I'll grill you guys some steaks. We'll be good. We can call this thing good." That's fine. It's just get the debt paid in some sort of form or fashion.
I think Jay's got a little stage fright when it comes to cooking.
No, he does not.
He talks a big game, but
you think he's a fraudulent griller?
No, I don't think he's fraudulent. I think that Jay is just a little nervous because he's had his dad make comments. He made the blue cheese mac and cheese sometimes that he got pilloried for by the family. And I just wonder if Jay would want to cook for people.
Unmasked Texter says that's a good way of inviting yourself over to an ex-NFL's house and get a steak dinner. I'm in. He did say inviting yourself wrong. He said this damn talk to text pisses me off. No,
but he also said he likes listening to both of us. So
I think genuinely if we wanted to go over to Jay's house for dinner, we could probably text him and say, Jay, can I come over for dinner? Now he did. You know, it's interesting that you bring this up because I mean, this is like a 3-year thing where he told me that he was making ribs. He went out of his way to tell me one day, like he called me on a random day of the week and was like, Nick, I just picked up some ribs. I'm smoking some ribs. And I was like, okay, cool, man. Like, I don't want to know about it unless you're going to share.
Right.
And I've even offered, I said, hey, I'll pay for some of the ribs if you want to, you know, as you're a grill master, you like to smoke the meat, whatever. And I was like, so I'll pay for my portion, and I'll let you do it. And he even told me on the phone that day, he's like, oh yeah, I'll hook you up. And I've never seen, I don't even know. You could tell me that it was, he smoked them. You could tell me he made them. I would never have known. He never did it.
Bill and Bennett, he is Jay freaking Foreman and should never have to pay for a steak in the state ever again.
That's why he should just handle
people
the
can
steak
buy
dinner.
Jay his steaks.
Yes.
But he's got to buy them for other people. If he loses, if he takes on a challenge, I think Jay is man enough to pay up.
It's also such a small wager.
Right.
Such a small wager. Well, maybe not as much small. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think here's the real question. What would Jay do if we just like knocked on his door one day? If it's a Tuesday and I got something to film, he just knocked on his door.
Exactly. I can tell you this right now. This is exactly what he would do. He'd open the first off. I don't know if he'd be the one to open the door, but he would stand there and he'd probably have either one or both AirPods in, and he'd be holding his cell phone in one of his hands, and he'd go, "Come on, man. I don't even want to do. Come on, man. What do you need? What do you want? Why are you here on my doorstep?" I mean, that'd be the 100% thing. Exactly what he said.
You know, I'm off today.
Yeah. Come on, man. Like, why? It would just be like, and then he'd be like,
and then he'd come in the studio the next day. I don't know about your boy Nick.
Yeah,
man. I don't know about your boy Austin.
I don't know about your boy Austin. He showed up at my door yesterday. I don't like people just coming over to my house. I don't like surprises, man.
Man's home is his castle, you know.
That's what he says. I will. The first time I ever went over to Jay's house was he actually, and I owe Jay this big time. When I went to Canada last year, we flew our golf clubs. And I was like, I was going to go buy a case, a golf club case. And these things aren't cheap, you know. And it was funny because he texted me his address or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm on my way over. And I pull into the driveway, and he walks out and frankly, he wears the same outfit every day. It was a new outfit I've never seen him wear, and he's wearing
which is rare for Jay.
Yeah. Because like he's always on. And anyway, so he like walks out the garage, and I owe him big time because he allowed me just to keep his golf club traveling case. So I never had to go buy one. It's still sitting in my garage right now. And so I do owe him for that one. So I guess maybe that we can call it even for the steak dinner. He saved me a couple $100 having to buy the traveling case.
Bolt says, I just tuned in. Why are you bashing Jay so bad today? Bolt, we tease, we kid, we bash because we love.
Also,
because Jay is great. He can take it. He's not here to defend himself.
Jay's also not innocent.
Oh, far from that.
Can we make this very clear? As much as we love Jay,
Jay will do a little of this.
Yes,
and he'll do a little of this.
Yes, he is not innocent. Everybody's always like, "Oh, Jay's just a nice, quiet guy.
So relaxed, stays out of the way."
Yeah, he just doesn't make enemies. He's just kind of always around. Like he's a good dude. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah,
but he stirs the pot as much as anybody. It's just he is so strategic with it that he won't do it publicly to where everybody understands exactly the type of human Jay Foreman is.
He's also good at getting out in front of the narrative and putting on someone else first. Jay will take to the air and say something before anyone else gets a chance to.
Yeah. 100%. And you know, it is what it is. And there's been a lot of times where I've gotten texts from listeners and mutual friends of Jay, and Jay's saying this about you on the air right now. We can't defend ourselves. Same way I get texts about the early morning show talking about me on air. I can't defend myself.
The nerve.
This is what I talked about on the show this morning with AD. People need to be less nonchalant.
More chalant?
More chalant.
Okay.
I think I want to.
You need more care factor? You need more.
I just think in general people need to be more chalant. And I wish I had a better word for it because I understand how stupid that sounds coming over the air. But here we are.
No, I get what you're saying.
I don't know how else to describe it. Be more direct with our lives. Be more purposeful with what you want to say.
Okay. Anyway. I can respect it.
So, Unmasked Texter. How about this one? How about Unmasked Texter says the early morning show gets away with murder. Bill needs to be stopped along with Sipple. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. There'll be a day.
I had my first true. I've never hosted early break like you have never been the fill-in guy. I also did not do the normal ticket thing and come up through the early break ranks.
Neither did I. I was the intern on DP's show.
That's right. That's right. So my introduction to early break was just showing up here, and I mean there's Jake, whatever, and I guess Coach Bush used to be here, and Sip, and know the name, whatever. My first, what I would call early break experience, if you will, was OKC. And the true early break experience was spending 4.5 hours in a TSA line.
I can't even imagine.
Jake and Bill.
I can't even imagine.
I'm here to tell the tale.
Please,
but it was harrowing at that point.
Please fill in the blanks.
You filled in on early break. We've all heard early break. You can about imagine. Jake is there, and Jake, to his great credit, just stuffed his backpack full of stuff so that he could use his carry-on spot for some of our equipment for the radio broadcast.
Sure.
Shout out Jake for that. I still ended up having to check a bag with the other equipment and whatnot. We're making it work. But, we get there, we're in line for, 10, 15 minutes. Jake's talking about, my backpack is so heavy. Jake, do you see where we're at in line? Do you see we just went down some stairs, have to snake through for 3 miles and then head back upstairs? I don't want to hear this. No complaining about restroom breaks or whatever. But at one point we got into, is Cale Jacobson a good shooter?
Sure.
Or not? We took bets on how long it would take us to reach the escalator to go back upstairs.
Okay.
We found the inverse of Amen's Corner at the Masters.
Okay.
It was, what did we call it? We were stuck in the same corner upstairs of TSA, just waiting for forever. And then, Bill doesn't want to be in the TV interview that Jake and I were a part of. Did I share that?
No. This is what I appreciate. This is great. Wet Blanket. And Wet Blanket, I'll say this about the early show. Wet Blanket chimes in and he holds those guys' feet to the fire. And I appreciate Wet Blanket for this.
Thank you, Wet Blanket.
Wet Blanket says Bill officially became part of the Lincoln media universe this morning. He called for a 9-win Husker football season, and it's not even June. He's one of us. One of us. One of us. Because our job is better when they win.
Much.
Oh, it's so fun when they win. That's why
happy 4 months away from kickoff, by the way.
I did see that. That's why like this winter and spring has been some of the most enjoyable, I think, radio I've ever done. I mean, it's a small sample size, but I would almost say, I don't want to speak for you, Austin, but like the Husker basketball season was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much fun.
Unbelievable enough to get some extensions and title.
That's right.
Handed out. Shout out to Nebraska men's basketball's assistant coaches. They all get some raises, and Nate Lenzer gets a bit of a title bump as well. Multi-year extensions for Lenzer, for Ernie Ziegler, and for Pat Monahan, fresh off the best season in Nebraska school history. And Nick, how about this? Nate Lenzer also promoted now to associate head coach. That's the guy that took the job interview at Northern Iowa this year, did not end up getting the job. But there's a reason. He was one of the few interviews that the Panthers did after Ben Jacobson ended up leaving for Utah State. Good on Nate Lenzer for that. He's been with Nebraska since 2021. Pat Monahan came in and people raved about him behind the scenes. And, steady as she goes, Ernie Ziegler, all those guys end up getting raises, multi-year extensions. You lose Kurt Joseph, but overall, staff continuity is there for Nebraska. They lock this group in. I think that's a good sign.
It is. I was thinking a lot about, I mean, we make such a big deal about Nate Lenzer, rightfully so. And especially a lot of his efforts that he's been, going through. I want to dive a little bit deeper into the Pat Monahan story.
Okay.
Because like this is a guy that, now granted, Fred Hoiberg's done a really good job, frankly, after his first couple of years of finding serviceable assistants, right?
Oh, yeah.
And guys that have come back and come in and been able to do some good things. I think I think back to when they were trying to throw some things together with guys like Armand Gates and I'm missing a couple of them. Who's the guy that went to? I'm blanking on the name. That's okay. Either way, like Pat Monahan's name kind of came out of nowhere. It's a guy that he came from Wyoming, spent some time at Green Bay, if I remember correctly.
Yep, Sundance Wicks.
Yeah, that's right. And like a big part for the draw from Pat Monahan was the fact that like Wyoming, I think I was reading on this a couple of days ago. Wyoming had 2 players on their roster when Pat Monahan showed up in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And obviously had to fill the roster at a place like Wyoming. It's easier to do it at a place like Nebraska than it is at Wyoming and not be abysmal. Right.
Yeah.
And so like, I think we look at the staff and it's okay. We know what Nate Lenzer does. We knew what
Adam Howard did.
Ultimately, I don't know if there's a single person that like a casual fan that could tell you, yeah, Pat Monahan does this. And maybe that's where you and I can come into it. But it's been a really good transition for the staff. And it's obviously been smooth and something that they see necessary to hold on to the future for.
Yeah. Monahan's been all over the place. You just look at his bio on Huskers.com. Assistant at Coffeyville Community College. Pretty good.
Yeah.
D2 JUCO school, sorry. Loyola Chicago director of basketball ops. That was in the early 2010s, but became reputable not long after that. Minnesota State, pretty darn good there in the D2 ranks, moves up to Southern Illinois, where he gets credit for finding and helping develop Marcus Damask, who ends up at Illinois, plays pretty well for the Fighting Illini there. Goes from Southern Illinois then from Milwaukee to Southern Illinois, and then he just keeps moving up and up the ranks to Green Bay, and then to Wyoming, and now to Nebraska. I think what Pat Monahan brings to the staff is that back gym mentality.
Bingo.
You see Nebraska, get those 2 guys for the 2026 class that are top 100 guys, and Colin Rice and Jacob Lanier. Good players, darn good. I mean, especially in their own state. You look at where Colin Rice and Jacob Lanier were in the state of Iowa and Arkansas in terms of their recruiting rankings, respectively. And okay, they're well known. People know who they are. They're on the circuit, but they're not top 50 guys. They're not top 30 guys. And so I think that when you look at what Nebraska has wanted to accomplish in recruiting overall, it's been the transfer portal. Sure, the agents they have relationships with, the under the radar, really up transfers from the mid-major ranks is where Nebraska struck the most gold. I think what Pat Monahan is able to do, though, is start to make some of those connections in the back gyms, right? Yeah. Go to Peach Jam, go to, EYBL stuff, your Adidas stuff, and get to know people. I think he's a relationships guy, and that goes a long way. I think it's more above board than maybe a previous head recruiter on Fred Hoiberg's staff. If you know, you know. And I think that, there's obviously some ball knowledge there. I mean, Pat Monahan is always out on the floor working with guys, helping them warm up, talking to them the whole time. Not that, Fred Hoiberg, Nate Lenz, or Ernie Ziegler can't or wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I just think Pat Monahan, entering now his 20th year in the college basketball coaching, front office, whatever role kind of ranks, has gone a long way in kind of helping reinvigorate and spark Nebraska in some of those early initial conversations with relationships and development.
I also think that you talk about the way that Nebraska wants to construct a roster and find their guys, right? Like Nebraska, even if they continuously are an NCAA tournament team, and who knows, maybe let's say they go back to the Sweet 16, like it goes back to the Fred Hoiberg piece of they're probably not going to change their formula holistically. Right. And they shouldn't.
No.
Like, I think that they've found something that works, a combination that works. Like you talked about the mid-major transfers. Obviously you get, a Utah Valley guy this year. You get a couple of others. Sure. There's the power conference connection with like a guy like Bowden Kapke and stuff. But ultimately, I think Nebraska, even in a world where they have additional NIL money and additional resources, this goes to show that coaching still matters. And I feel like every time we have an NIL conversation, whether it's football, basketball, even baseball to that extent, the conversation is that the people that you have leading them still matter in a very large way.
Absolutely. And I've argued this in college basketball for a while, is that I think college basketball is probably the sport where we see the head coach's impact on the program matter the most. That's not a shot against football. That's not a shot against baseball or even volleyball, maybe to some capacity. But you think about all the legends that we've seen go through college basketball. Because the roster size is small enough and the sport is big enough, you see guys like John Wood, John Thompson, to Krzyzewski, to Smith, to Williams, to Self, to Izzo, to Mark Few, to Lute Olson, to maybe Tommy Lloyd, to John Calipari, Dusty May, potentially Todd Golden. The list goes on and on. Jim Boeheim.
Are you surprised Todd Golden's still at Florida? Side note.
Yes and no.
I expected there's Bolt.
Yes and no.
Look at Bolt.
Hey, Bolt. What's up?
Anyway, I expected the Golden State job to be his.
It's not
from his days at San Francisco.
Yes, it's not off the table yet.
Okay.
You haven't heard anything from Steve Kerr.
Gotcha.
So
sure.
We'll end up seeing on that specifically. But I think what we're seeing with Nebraska is Fred Hoiberg, took his lumps, took his time to figure out what he wanted, how he could accomplish it.
Yeah.
Now that he knows, we're seeing him imprint his vision on Nebraska. Some of that's handed down through assistants, obviously, in these guys. Some of it's from the head coach. But in college football, think about all the politics that are behind it. Think about how many coaches, how many moving pieces all these programs have. It's hard for a head coach to imprint his image quickly, especially. Volleyball, maybe some of the same. College baseball, I mean, we'll talk plenty of baseball throughout the show.
Yeah.
It's just a different game. I think in college basketball, we've seen more coaches be able to leave their imprint, their legacy, their mark on a program and be the face of a program in ways that I think is harder in modern college football, in modern college baseball, in modern college volleyball. And for Nebraska, I think they found their image guy. Tim Miles, nice guy, fine coach. Did he have the clear vision? Doc Sadler, Nebraska under-resourced. Did he have the clear vision for how to get Nebraska back to competitive excellence? It's hard for me to say.
I think Tim Miles did. I don't know if this might be wrong of me. I don't know if the support is dramatically increased and different when you can put a name like Fred Hoiberg at the helm. Right. Yes.
But it also is a credit to Fred that he was able to do it. It's one thing to get the support. It's another to maximize it and use it.
That's a really interesting thought. Because I've never thought about that. I've never thought that Tim Miles didn't have the vision. I just don't know if he had what it took to execute it.
Didn't have what to execute it? Resources, athletic department, support, players.
I think resources / players is where I'm at with that. Now Tim Miles wasn't here in the NIL era.
He was not.
I think, because we were talking about Tim Miles when that was going on. I mean, think about the days of that was Ty. I mean, guys, I'm just going to rattle off notable recruits that they brought in that played relatively big pieces into it. Obviously, Isaiah Roby's the big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Roby, but you talk about transfer portal with Copeland, and you talk about what they were able to, did they maximize Ty Webster as much as they could? Maybe not. So that's where it's like, I go back to the execution. Maybe that's staff ability to bring in staff.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to what we just talked about here with, Nebraska's going to have to replace Kurt Joseph, which we can talk about another time. That's a notable departure.
Yeah.
Nebraska has been relatively healthy and been able to stay healthy. And
Nebraska took off when he got here.
Yes. And one thing that I'll say, and for those that might not know, Kurt Joseph left and took the job
heading up the entire sports performance division of the Pelicans.
Of the New Orleans Pelicans in the NBA. And so not only is that a really positive indictment on Nebraska, but it's also a really positive indictment on what they had here.
Yeah.
And frankly, how many times did we go into games, especially this last year, where it was the conversation was, Nebraska's in a disadvantageous position in the athleticism department, but there they were every single game. There they were. Mm-hmm. And I maybe I'm wrong on that. I think there was a lot of times, especially in the NCAA tournament, like, was Nebraska always the most athletic team? Probably not.
No, my counter to that would be, it took Tim Miles how long to get to 2017-18? And then you bring most of that team back in 18-19, but it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall at that point. In that it took him maybe a year or two. Obviously he made the NCAA tournament sooner than Fred Hoiberg did. He gets some credit for that. And then immediately fell off a cliff and just wasn't a factor in any meaningful way. Whereas you see what he gets in 2017-18. James Palmer Jr. gets eligible and balls out. Isaac Copeland gets eligible and balls out. Glenn Watson stuck around for his junior year, played pretty well. Isaiah Roby as a sophomore took a little bit of a step forward. You get transfer portal guys like Anton Gill and Evan Taylor. Jordy Shimunga is a part-time starter. Thomas Allen was a pretty highly rated recruit.
Yeah,
that Nebraska was able
ended up transferring out.
He did, but Nebraska still landed him. Jack McVay. Nebraska didn't get the best out of him. I think some of it is coaching. I think some of it is players. But where I give Fred Hoiberg credit is that he found that model that worked for him at the end of 21-22, was able to parlay that then into a 500 year in 22-23, that Nebraska started out better before losing two of those key guys in Gary and Bandamel to the injuries. He had the vision. And even if it wasn't, one-to-one replacement for 23-24, pandemic plays into it, all that stuff. I'm not saying they're the same situation, but it took Tim Miles a year or two longer to get to where Fred Hoiberg did. The writing was already on the wall, and Fred Hoiberg has taken that vision and run with it. Whereas Tim Miles, maybe A, never got the chance, or B, what took him so long to get to that vision, because that team in 17-18 didn't look anything like his earlier team.
It's definitely not. And maybe part of the, we understand now how things kind of sometimes work behind the scenes, to where writing felt like it was on the wall, because guess what else the writing was on the wall? You kind of had an idea Fred Hoiberg's time in Chicago was going to be done as well. And I wonder, it's so interesting to think about, now here we are, 7 years removed, or almost 8 years removed from this. Is, you said something about elevating the program. Fred Hoiberg's done that in these last 3.5 years. That
than any coach since Danny Nee.
Yeah, any coach. I was thinking back to like Doc Sadler, like the start of Doc Sadler. You could combine them, and he's done more in the 3.5 years to elevate the program on multiple fronts. Sure, the success, the wins, the losses, the things that matter the most, but fan engagement, fan investment, not monetarily. I'm talking
attention,
and
looking
people,
forward to the next game.
I always look at things like this, in addition to the NIL department, of like, are we having fans reach out and be like, hey, what are you doing for the game? Is Joe calling his cousin or calling his brother-in-law and being like, hey, you want to go somewhere for the game? Is it appointment television? And over the last 2 years, we have seen the increase in the rise of Nebraska men's basketball becoming appointment television more than any other sport in the athletic department. And that's not, indirectly, it's a knock on some other programs. Volleyball is always going to be at the top. Like,
well, it's men's basketball and softball that have had their profile raised.
Big time. Volleyball is going to continue to do it every single year. And so, because I can already see that there's going to probably be texters like, I watch every volleyball game 100%. This is not me diminishing the volleyball
But you've been doing that since 95.
And they've been able to, that's a whole nother conversation, because they've been able to find ways to continuously elevate that volleyball program and still make it appointment television 30 years after, right? We're talking about the rise and improvement in a singular program. We have not seen that more so than with Husker men's basketball.
I think you're spot on with that.
Which speaks a lot to Fred Hoiberg.
402-464-5685. We will take your texts on that. You guys have plenty of thoughts. Let's just go ahead and throw it to you guys. We'll do that after the break. This is Old School, brought to you by the good folks over at Graham Tire. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs too, from brakes to oil changes. Trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Back with more thoughts on Nebraska men's basketball and program elevation from you after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Life happens. Unexpected bills, tough choices. Your car needs repairs, but your child needs new shoes. What do you decide? At Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, they help families before small problems become breaking points. They connect parents to support so they can keep working, so kids stay secure, and so families stay together. Help Lincoln families thrive. Donate to Nebraska Children and Families Foundation through Give to Lincoln.
Right now in Lincoln, neighbors are facing hunger and homelessness, and they need our help. Your donation to Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach for Give to Lincoln Day helps provide nutritious meals, safe shelter, and life-changing support. Your gift goes even further thanks to matching funds from the Lincoln Community Foundation. Working together, we can make our community stronger by ensuring that everyone has access to nutritious food and a safe place to sleep at night. Give to Matt Talbot today or anytime through May 28th at givetolincoln.com.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
At Cedars, we're here to make sure that kids have the safety and stability that every child deserves, where they're protected and where they feel safe. You make this possible. Today, more than ever, we need your support to be here for kids who have nowhere else to call home. Now through May 28th, make a big impact through Give to Lincoln. Give to Cedars now at givetolincoln.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Cinco de Mayo will be here before you know it on May 5th, and Tipsy Tina's is the place to be. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 2 p.m. on May 5th for the Street Festival, featuring piñatas, giveaways, and more. Plus, see llamas from Sweet and Sassy Llama Farm from 5:30 to 7:30. DJ Joe Cruz will entertain starting at 7 p.m. with a spicy taco eating contest at 7:30. And the best part, as always, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Tuesday, May 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. at 8th and Q.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back in. It is Old School, hour one of the show, brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Really appreciate Gary, his family, his crew down there in Hallam for all the great work and the great stuff that they're doing. You can see the information scrolling on stream below us in case you're not on stream. We'll let you know. You can give them a call, 402-430-3852, or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Austin Orman here at Nick Sainert there, hanging out with you till 6 o'clock here on The Ticket. What's so funny over there?
Well, so we have a new name on the text line.
We do.
And so in case you guys don't know, like, we can text you guys back. And so a lot of times throughout the break, Austin and I can text back if we like to comment on a point or whatever. Well, so we had a name change request on the text line,
which we can do. You send them in.
Yeah. If you want
a
new name, if you want a name, so we're not like calling out your last 4 digits of your phone number. I'll say it right now. I don't enjoy doing that, but like 2086 says Nick taking shots at Jay that can't respond. Doesn't Nick get mad when AD does this, or mad when the morning show does the same thing? Haha, too funny.
It's different when it's Jay because it's not personal.
Yeah, they're real personal, man.
They take deep. They get some scabs. They draw blood. We don't.
Yeah. Anyway, and also like 99% of the stuff that Jay says is truthful.
Yeah.
The morning show just makes up stuff. Like they make up stuff. Like the thing about like I have they're like, oh yeah, Nick has a Tinder account. I'm like, I have never had a Tinder ever, and I just feel like that's why I get mad, is because those are personal shots that are untrue. Jay takes personal shots that are true.
I had Tinder for about 3 weeks in high school.
No way.
Because my buddy, who texted into the show yesterday, we'll leave him unnamed. You have to go back and check yesterday's show. Wanted to do the group messaging feature on Tinder when that was first released. And so he said, sign up for this. I'm like,
wow,
I don't need to do this.
That's crazy.
And I actually never sent a message on Tinder, but I did download it at one point.
I've never had a dating app, and I don't need a dating. I don't want a dating app.
I need to get my brothers on dating apps.
This goes to my chalant piece earlier. Go talk to somebody.
Okay. My brother, the one's about to graduate law school.
Okay.
Shout out JT.
Shout out to JT.
He knows his way around the bar scene.
Yeah.
He goes out with his law school and, law clerk people.
It's also a great and he's flex. Like I'm about to be a lawyer.
Right. But he's like, well, I don't want to meet a girl at a bar. I'm like, ooh, but you're at a bar.
Yeah, you're at the
you're
bar.
At a bar.
The girls are saying the same thing about you. I don't want to meet a guy at the bar. No, like I'll try. I'll say this. Like I tried the mutual friend thing. It didn't work. And it was like, I have no problems. I have no problem talking about my life. Like I got nothing to hide. I'm an open book.
Westy, how about this, Nick? This is legendary.
Okay.
I only downloaded Tinder to try and catfish my college roommate that I didn't get along with.
That's
Did it work?
crazy.
Did it work?
Yeah, Westy, did it work?
Which, speaking of text line names, On the Block gave Westy his name. He's a regular texter and
no
listener.
way.
And I had to scroll all the way back to December of like 23 to find this. Like, hey, I text all the time. I can't come up with anything creative. You guys do it. So I saw the 308 area code. I'm like, hey, you're Mountain Westy, so it's MT Westy.
That's
from
unbelievable. Okay, but anyway, Westy, you got to know. You got to let us know if that worked, because that's the problem with, like, okay, you guys are really. I mean, this is like speaking my language because I'm 25. I mean, I'm in the prime of my dating life. I mean, this is just who I am, and so I just think that. Anyway, I need to not say this. I don't know who's listening. Maybe some of the women I'm talking to are listening to this. I always wonder about
bury
that.
this at 5:45.
Here's the thing, Austin. So, like, Austin, you don't have to worry about this.
I do not. What a relief.
You found a wonderful woman, and Olivia's great, and here
I
we
wake
are.
up every day worried that she's going to leave me, and she wakes up and recognizes that. What am I doing?
So this, I mean, I have a couple of stories that I could tell that have experienced that. They're like, oh, so you're on the radio, and I'll be like, yes. And then the next day it's like, hey, I'm listening to you. And I need to, there's also been some, I'll say this, I have no problem saying this. We are in a very public space. Also, it's
you are
not
a public figure.
It's
officially.
Nope. That's not what I'm getting at all.
No, I'm just saying your life is out there.
You
are public, whether you like it or not. It's a fact.
All of us are. Yes. Yeah. We moved down to this beautiful building on 1040 O Street. Mm-hmm. It's not hard to find our location. There's been instances where I've gotten I have DMs in my Twitter and my Instagram right now of like, hey, I was at the mill and I saw you. And that is the freakiest thing that it's instantly, if I ever get that DM again, it's an instant block. I've had to block 2 people from that.
We 2 weeks ago now, a little after Easter.
Okay.
We had a situation with the afternoon crew.
Oh.
Probably about 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Okay.
Girl walked by the window, and we had locked the doors at this point.
Was
no
it Tristan?
Okay, we'll get there.
It was definitely Tristan. Tristan's 100% involved because Tristan's like the most handsome dude that we have working here.
Handsome dude, college baseball player.
That's true. He's got the height. All the women want somebody over 6 feet tall.
Also a public figure, has his own podcast.
Yeah.
A successful dude.
Yeah.
And
great hair.
Yeah, great
Unbelievable
hair. Incredible. Cal State Fullerton pedigree.
Yeah.
Portland knocked off Gonzaga a couple times in Oregon.
Must be nice to be Tristan.
The world is his oyster.
Yeah. Must be nice to be Tristan.
And a group of girls was walking by the window and, tried to slide into his DMs.
Long
story short. So kind of surprised it took that long because Tristan's been with us for a while.
He has
the ladies he has taken. So.
Yep, he's taken.
Westy says, no, it didn't work. It was going to make me enter my phone number, and I said, absolutely not.
So Bill and Bennett says, I think more people listen to the show than you realize, Swim. And that's what I've had to learn is because I'll go somewhere that's very opposite of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened a couple of weeks ago. I went out to drinks or whatever, and the bartender, or not the bartender, it was the bouncer. They looked at my ID. Thank goodness. First off, I still get ID'd. That's when you know you're old. Do you get ID'd?
I do not.
Oh,
I do not.
That's okay.
Well, I also just rarely go out or buy alcohol at the store.
Yeah, it's too bad. Austin, I would love to go out. I would love
it's not like I'm not against it.
Well, I know, but
shoot the invite.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna third wheel with you and your wife. I'm sorry.
Well, we can ask our little Puerto Rican friend to third wheel us.
That's true.
That's an option. We'd like you out of the house sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a good segment to have on the air. Talking
we're
about
already having it.
I like I said, I'm an open book. I got nothing to hide. Well, this all started from, once again, Bill. And I'm sure Bill will find out that we're talking about this because, once again, people listen to the show, and that's fine. Is that I don't mind. I have zero issue talking about dates I've gone on, who, what, maybe not who.
Maybe not who.
Maybe not who. Like what I'm doing with my personal life, I have zero issue with that piece of it. I just want to be the one to talk about it.
Right. Better person to find this show first, Bill or Jay?
100% Jay.
Probably.
1,000% Jay.
I'm slightly surprised Jay hasn't texted in. Slightly. Not overly surprised, but he listens just often enough when he's not here.
Sure.
I will say this to Bill's point. I think more people listen to the show than you realize. The place that it's surprised me the most is church.
Oh, amen to that.
And it's not like
but
it's not like it's not like it's every week. It's not like it's every month. But when people figure out, oh, that's what you look like. Oh, I hear your voice. And I'll read at church sometimes. And like, I know that voice. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I said meetings with people, and that's the first thing that comes up about me. And here's the thing. I love what I do. I love getting
100%.
able to do this.
100%.
Sports are something I've been involved with, love my entire life. I'm the sports radio guy to so many people, and I love that. And like, don't get me wrong, I like talking about sports.
Yeah.
I do also have other interests.
But there's more to you.
Believe it or not.
There's more to Austin,
I'm not
people,
just the guy sitting in the window around this little box and like, all I know is sports. Like I
There's
claim
more
some
to
level of expertise and I pretend to know a lot about this.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay if you have a conversation with me about something else.
That's where, okay. I mean, so here's the thing. I get it the most in Ubers. I'll sit in and like there's a little profile picture on your Uber account. I frankly don't know how to change it. And when I don't have a lot of pictures of myself. I've been trying to get better at taking pictures when I do things. But like my pictures are normally of me doing work. Like it's like, oh, it's Nick. Like I'm on the field. Or I'm on a field with taking a picture because it's the first time I was at Allegiant Stadium or whatever the case may be. And so like, that's my profile picture. And so then, you know, it pulls up when they get requested for an Uber, and then I get in the car and the first thing is like, oh, so what do you do? I saw your profile picture. Or it's Nicholas, because that's my name on the Uber. And I'm like, yeah, this is me. And, you know, most of the time I'm taking an Uber when I'm not good enough to drive. And so it's like, I just, you know, I don't know what I'm doing over here. I don't know what the purpose of my life is. Be more chalant. It all comes back to it.
You could not be nonchalant. You had to be chalant driving yourself around Los Angeles.
Yes.
I still respect that you did that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was it?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
The other side also, you talked about like having a conversation with you. Like do you ever struggle to find having a conversation that's not sports related?
I mean, I have like the group of people I have my non-sports conversations with. So like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Like, cause
I'm also not the best conversationalist in terms of coming up with stuff to ask people. I'm not off the air.
Like, I'm not like a big small talk guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this as we're talking about like the dating game is like you talk to people and they find out what you do, or you know, like they'll and a lot of times our jobs are very, very fun. Like we get to do a lot of cool things, whether it's like traveling. Like we're not saying that, but it's always funny because then it's like they'll ask me questions and I'll be like, all right, so what do you do? And they're like, oh, you know, I work in healthcare. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I can ask you very base level questions about healthcare, but like I don't want to know about what your patient was doing last night. Like I don't need to know this, right?
Which lucky for you, there's this thing called HIPAA.
Yes, HIPAA. But you know, but you see what I'm saying? Is I'm like, I just am not. I feel bad because there's endless questions you can ask us. And that you can ask us about radio and about what that's like. A lot of people, like teachers, like I feel bad because I'm like, oh, so you must have a lot of patience. And then after that line, I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going with this.
The other one,
let's talk about me more.
The other one that gets me, and again, I appreciate people's interest in it. It makes more sense for you, director of high school sports, calling all the games and everything. I'll tell people that. Oh, I do sports talk radio. Oh, so you had all the games? Do you call them? Are you broadcasting the Husker games?
They don't know the difference.
Then
I love people, though.
No, I don't. I don't broadcast the Husker game. I go to some of them. I talk about them all the time. But no, I don't. I don't call every game.
How about this? Bill and Bennett says, "Damn, Austin, I still get carded every time I buy beer at Hy-Vee, and I'm 61. But maybe the female clerk just has a crush on me."
Well, you're 65,
nice job,
going on 24, I guess. Bill and Bennett. So
yeah.
I'm not surprised though. Strapping, handsome young lad, you there, Bill and Bennett.
Yeah, right. Okay, we can move on. Somebody said, "Come on, swim."
That was Big Bang Hank.
People, Rubber Duck from LinkedIn says, "Get on the spillover and defend yourself in the morning."
They lock the doors. They barricade them. They don't let you in to defend yourself.
I think this is once again.
Early break has its own bouncer. People don't know.
Yeah, like I love Jake. That man would throw a fit if we just walked in and grabbed a microphone
on his show.
Now that would be bad. Number one. Number two is the other two guys in the room, Steve Sipple and Bill Bush. They love their routine, and if you deviate from the routine, as somebody that's filled in, I can speak from experience. There was a morning that I forgot to give them a pen because Jake.
Is that how all these end up?
Yes,
here?
That's why they're there. Jake. So we have literally, it's like 4 or 5 pens
every day.
Every day, Jake. It's the same thing. Jake has to literally give them a pen every single day. And I walked in, and this is something new. Like I get in, I make the coffee. Connor's great. Connor is incredible. He always gets some stuff ready to go. Like we have Song of the Day dubbed in. There's, obviously there's a lot of partners and members of that show. So like getting reads all organized and everything. Like there's a lot to be said. Like they do a lot. I'm not saying that. But if you do not, like, they don't turn all the light switches on. There is one that gets left off.
Every day.
Every day.
Time.
And if you do not have the right one turned off, all hell breaks loose. And it turns in then to a 30-minute conversation about how Nick's not doing his job and Nick's not prepared and
he's not one of
off
us,
the rails. And then it's like a cult and it's okay. But you got a cult of listeners that listen to that show. And so it's like whatever those guys say, we're just gonna continue to just bag on Nick nonstop that show.
And I'm sorry, they're grown men. If they can't grab their own pen,
I also got tweeted at. I very rarely get tweeted at unless I'm on early break, and most of the time it's because there was one. I have not brought it to the air, but it made me laugh. That was like, whenever Jake is gone, the 3-legged stool should just be the 2-legged stool because they have some yapper on there today, and it did not work out well. And I thought to myself,
called a ladder.
I thought to myself, at the end of the day, I would love to see Steve Sipple sitting in that chair, run that board, and then talk to us.
Well, swim me now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of buttons over here.
Yeah, not a chance. I love them. They're incredible. I mean, it's a dynamic that works incredibly well, and now we just get to have some fun with it.
We're having plenty of fun. Let's take a quick hiatus from the fun, take a break, and wrap up hour 1 of the show.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Hosine, candidate for the University of Nebraska Board of Regents. Husker athletics has never been stronger. Let's champion the same mindset across our entire university: academics, research, and opportunity. As a neurosurgeon, former regent, and proud Husker, I'm running to stand up for NU's future because this matters to my family and yours. On May 12th, vote Dr. Jeremy Hosine for Regent, for our students, for our future, and for Nebraska.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You should treat mom to some barbecue. At Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, we think award-winning moms deserve award-winning barbecue without having to lift a finger. We invite you and your family to gather around our table on Mother's Day for Hog Wild slow smoke favorites, or place an order to go online at gohogwild.com for a spring picnic where mom is the guest of honor. We look forward to seeing you this Mother's Day. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
Life happens. Unexpected bills, tough choices. Your car needs repairs, but your child needs new shoes. What do you decide? At Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, they help families before small problems become breaking points. They connect parents to support so they can keep working, so kids stay secure, and so families stay together. Help Lincoln families thrive. Donate to Nebraska Children and Families Foundation through Give to Lincoln.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Cinco de Mayo will be here before you know it on May 5th, and Tipsy Tina's is the place to be. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 2 p.m. on May 5th for the Street Festival, featuring piñatas, giveaways, and more. Plus, see llamas from Sweet and Sassy Llama Farm from 5:30 to 7:30. DJ Joe Cruz will entertain starting at 7 p.m. with a spicy taco eating contest at 7:30. And the best part, as always, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Tuesday, May 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. at 8th and Q.
Love local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits, or looking for a great non-alcoholic option? Then raise a glass at SIP Nebraska's 13th Anniversary Spring Festival, May 8th and 9th at Mahoney State Park. There's truly something for everyone with unlimited tastings, live music, great food, and unique experiences like skydiving demos, buzzed bingo, goat yoga, and fun lawn games. Plus, explore local artisans and take your favorites home. Make a weekend of it. Lodging is available right at the park. Grab your ticket package now at sipnebraska.com.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Old School, wrapping up hour 1 of the show, brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Also really appreciate Graham Tire for their sponsorship of the show. Let's head back to our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, 402-464-5685. Cigar Guy says, Tim Miles always gets a pass from me because we always sucked and he was so dang likable. Same with Doc Sadler. Super glad we're past dealing with sucking because the coach is likable. I get it. They're nice guys. You were rooting for them. But didn't Fred Hoiberg show you that you don't have to give them a pass because you can have it all?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Tim Miles in any way.
No,
I'm not anti-Doc Sadler in any way.
No.
But that's where I don't want to hold anything like too far against those guys in terms of lack of support and interest. But also, guess what? There wasn't a whole bunch of support or interest when Fred Hoiberg got here. They hired him to drum up interest. And guess what? He did the job. Yeah, it took a while. I was reading back Matt Norlander every 4 years. He'll grade the coaches. He'll grade the coaching hires from 4 years previously. He gave Fred Hoiberg a D+ after 4 years, which is accurate, which is
100%,
fair.
Yeah.
And you give Fred Hoiberg credit for turning things around after year 4 in a way that Sadler and Miles honestly never did.
Yeah, I still, think back to, how that's why I said that the investment, like the people showing up. There's no other way to say it other than like appointment, like making an appointment to watch Nebraska basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been higher in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been higher. People weren't making plans consistently and without failure to go watch Ryan Anderson.
Right.
Like that's not what it was.
Sorry, Brandon Ubel.
Oh, I love those
Alex
guys.
Marich.
Like those guys were the guys of my childhood.
Yes.
Like the Tony McRae's and Bo Spencer, like
Brandon Richardson.
Yeah,
Keep
be
going.
rich. Yeah.
Keep
Ray
going.
Gallegos.
Don't get me started. I about cut your mic after you said his name.
Stop. I am as pro Ray Gallegos as
rated.
This is crazy coming from you.
We've had this conversation before,
it's like Ryan Anderson and Dylan Talley, rest in peace. Like all of these guys, Lance Jeter, right? Like if you were a diehard Husker fan, yeah, sure, you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But like even in this world where games, sure, maybe are a little more accessible if you subscribe to Big Ten Plus, like you still got to subscribe to Big Ten Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people are much more invested. Sure, monetarily fine, but I'm talking more passionately than ever before.
Oh, without a doubt.
In our lifetime.
There's another text I want to get to, and I think we can lead the hour off with it. Wet blanket. You got us a discussion point. We'll go to break. We'll talk more Nebraska men's basketball. What has led to the rise of success? How much luck has actually been involved, or is it all, hard work and elbow grease? He's Nick Sainert. I'm Austin Norman. This is Old School. Back with more momentarily.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Woo! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Away we go into hour 2 of the show. Austin Norman, Nick Sainert with you. God bless social media. God bless all of you who follow the ticket and follow us. We do appreciate it. Follow the YouTube, right? I mean, we just passed 10,000. Follow Twitter, follow the Facebook. We're nearing some major milestones.
I think we're close to 12,000 on YouTube.
Heck yeah. Those are rookie numbers. We can pump them up. Come on, take it, family.
Yeah,
we
we'll
believe
figure
in
it
you.
out.
Speaking of pump it up, need your tires inflated, need your tires rotated, fixed, changed, whatever you want to do. Graham Tire Company is there for you. They have been for 75 years, serving the Midwest. More than just tires, though, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire getting you to the places that matter most. 402-464-5685. Really do appreciate everyone's engagement on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line today. You can help set the direction of the show if you would like. We do have topics planned that we would like to get to, but if things come up or if you have something on your mind, we will always appreciate your insight and your questions, no matter how leading they might be. Nick, I want to get to this from Wet Blanket. He says, I know that I'm Wet Blanket, and I think that Fred Hoiberg is an excellent coach. But let's not overlook the good luck that played into Fred's recent success. Sam Hoiberg developed into a player that, given truth serum, Fred would say he didn't expect. Cale Jacobson is a much better player than anyone thought that he would be. And Braden Frager is perhaps the most talented Lincoln High School player of all caps all time. And all three of these things came together at the same time.
Sure. I mean,
Okay, this is going to be a very, very generalized answer because I do have deeper thoughts on this. Isn't that a lot of just what it is nowadays too, is just kind of striking gold and having multiple things go well for you at the same time? Like, I think I look at Calipari. I think that's a great example. Calipari has had no success in comparison to like what we expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has not had anywhere close to the amount of success we expected when he gets, number one, gets a new job with Arkansas, gets all the investment that he could have ever potentially wanted from Tyson Foods, right? And everybody down there. And it's not like he got the investment and then struggled to find players. There was a mad rush to Fayetteville when John Calipari got there. So why isn't there a national championship? Why has there been very little talk, frankly, about just Arkansas basketball? It's completely quieted down. And so at a place like Nebraska, you're going to need to really strike gold. But they also found a coach that Fred Hoiberg's changed his philosophy quite a bit since he started it. Like, especially in terms of whether or not how much he wanted to be involved in the recruiting process. I think that's the biggest part.
4395 says he's not above 500 in 7 years. Probably time to send him out to greener pastures. I think that's tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
So we can chuckle at that. Let me follow up on all three of those players. Sam Hoiberg's development is not luck. It's a testament to hard work. It's a testament to good coaching. You think about Sam Hoiberg, getting into Kurt Joseph's program and probably going above and beyond.
Yeah.
You think about Sam Hoiberg being malleable enough, having the basketball IQ and enough ability to take the coaching that he was getting and max out. Maybe it was luck, positive and negative, that Emmanuel Bandamel went down and Juwan Gary went down, really forcing Sam Hoiberg into action. But it's not luck that Sam played his way into the rotation from there. That was a good basketball player, hiding in plain sight. 9 times out of 10, 99 out of 100, 999 out of 1,000, you never get to see. So it's positive for Nebraska. Is it luck? Only in that those two guys get injured. And then you give Sam all the credit for making something of himself.
Yeah.
You give Sam all the credit for hitting enough shots, playing enough defense, getting enough deflections to stay on the court. That wasn't a given. It wasn't. Cale Jacobson is the exact kind of player I've been asking for a decade for Nebraska to find and get. But between him and Sam, right?
Yeah.
Local-ish kid. Local, obviously grown up in the state, but not in the city. Good player in high school, under the radar. I mean, why could Iowa do that for so long? Why could Wisconsin, Minnesota do that for so long? Those guys had Cale Jacobson after Cale Jacobson, at least on the roster, running scout team, getting guys better, occasionally playing a role, having the cool senior day moment. And clearly, Cale Jacobson is not just a cool senior day moment. As for Frager and the best Lincoln High School, most talented Lincoln High School player of all time, there have been some good ones. I'm going to push back on that for now. But Braden Frager, clearly talented. Braden Frager clearly took to the system. There's a lot of optimism around his career for a while. And like you said, the beauty and the magic of sports is when these things line up. But you can't say that those were the only reasons Nebraska was successful. Was it luck for Nebraska to get what it did out of Derek Walker? No, that's coaching, that's scouting, that's having a plan. Tennessee was not going to use Derek Walker that way.
Certainly not.
It's luck that Nebraska landed Rink Mass because another school changed its recruiting priorities.
Yeah, which is crazy.
We were this close to Rink Mass not being at Nebraska.
Yeah.
He could have been somewhere else in the Big Ten.
And to be fair, it would have been a school that would have been detrimental.
Wildly
to
detrimental.
see him play at.
Is it luck that Keisei Tominaga was unchained and released? Was it luck that, let's keep going down the list, that like someone texts in, that Fran McCaffrey got fired at Iowa?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not, but who's to say Price Sanford wouldn't have transferred anyways? His brother's off to the NBA, and if Price Sanford sees that his future is only getting parked in a corner, and you have Fred Hoiberg off, an NCAA tournament and a crown championship offering you more on-ball reps in a feature role, who's to say that Price Sanford doesn't go and take that from Nebraska anyways?
I want to stay on Price for a moment because, what we've heard is obviously Price had multiple options out of Iowa, and probably some options that frankly were more lucrative than what Nebraska was offering him. Maybe not this coming year, right? Because he's invaluable to the program right now. But that Price's decision last year. Sure, there's a long history with Fred Hoiberg, right? But then number 2 is having an actual plan and belief that your coach is going to execute that plan with you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying these last 5 minutes as we've talked about this. I've been trying to think about how to formulate this without it coming across unintentionally the way it's going to sound.
Just say it. We'll talk through it.
Yes.
Expect a message then in your DMs afterwards.
Yeah, right. For the comparison, the conversations around Sam Hoiberg and Cale Jacobson, Nebraska, if those two guys wouldn't have panned out, Nebraska still could have found ways to be competitive. Because just like they would do with Nick Janowski, or just like they do with, I mean,
if it wasn't Cale Jacobson, it would have been Kendall Blue.
Yeah, right. Like it would have been like you could be flops. Like this is not me saying I'm disappointed that they worked out. This is not me diminishing or anything. It's me being as honest and realistic in that what a good staff does, which Fred Hoiberg and his guys are, obviously they've proven that, is that you pivot and you have to have the ability to pivot, and you need multiple backup plans for whether it's injury, whether it's bust, whether it's flop, like whatever the case may be. They obviously, when Nebraska's staff identified Kendall Blue, and I'll even throw Jared Garcia into this conversation, and they gave them the amounts of money that they did, and they invested the amount of money that they did on these guys, they did not expect them to play as small of roles as they did. They just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way. But the same way that they had to pivot when Kendall Blue wasn't available for them, the same way they needed to when they said, hey, look, we Cale Jacobson deserves to play a larger role in this.
Mm-hmm.
So it can go both ways. Like, sure, you struck gold because Sam Hoiberg and Cale Jacobson have worked out so well for you.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that is in the buy-in, not only from the player into the staff, but the staff having the buy-in to the player and to being able to develop him. And then, you know what, maybe putting your pride aside and saying, going, all right, you know what, although we, in this day and age of payments, although we have this price tag associated with this guy, this is the better piece for our team right now. We need to play option B.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, when it's all said and done, those are the hard conversations that staffs have to make, because if you make the wrong one, you're not going to be coaching there.
9090 says no Sam H equals no tournament. And I don't believe that for a moment. And that's not to say anything about the impact that Sam Hoiberg had on Nebraska's team. But think back to 2022, 23.
That's my point.
Okay.
You would have found out that Sam Hoiberg was not going to be that guy 3 years ago. Like that doesn't, okay, maybe not 3. That's a stretch. You would have been able to pivot. You would have had time to pivot through the portal. That's what I'm getting at with if they wouldn't have panned out, or if they wouldn't have worked out, you would have had time to pivot and say, all right, you know what? This was halfway expected.
Mm-hmm.
We have a plan for this.
I'm going to take it almost the other way, because in 22-23, when Bandamel and Gary go down, Sam Hoiberg's thrust into the rotation. Oh, cool story, but there's a zero. What are we really going to get out of this guy?
Yeah.
You didn't have any expectations. Your expectations were below low expectations for Sam Hoiberg at the time. It made a couple plays. Okay, cool. That's fun. That's cute. Look at that kid go. Pat on the back. Cute story. This year's equivalent, let's say that Sam Hoiberg, had graduated or moved on or whatever, or got injured, which we can say didn't happen now, obviously, and Kendall Blue had been thrust into that role. Your expectations, because he hadn't played for the first half of the year, would have been, well, what's this guy going to do? Why was he parked on the bench? I mean, he looks the part. Why wasn't he playing? Something must be really wrong. But Nebraska and that coaching staff, this core group, obviously Pat Monahan excluded at this point, but Ernie Ziegler, Nate Lenzer, and Kurt Joseph took that team down, the two probably biggest additions outside of Sam Griesel, in that transfer portal class, to a 500 record after a losing skid, So the way the Husker fans' expectations were set so low for Sam Hoiberg coming in off the bench with no experience is where they would have been for Kendall Blue. And there's more talent around Kendall Blue on this year's team than there was around that Sam Hoiberg team. There's a more coherent identity They're playing to win on the margins better this year than they did in 22-23. If Nebraska didn't have Sam Hoiberg, they are still comfortably a tournament team. Are they a 4 seed? Up for debate. Are they a 5? Who knows? Are they a 6? Maybe. 7? You can talk me into it. But Nebraska's not all of a sudden going to Dayton, scratching and clawing for the NCAA tournament. Does Nebraska finish second in the conference without Sam Hoiberg? Probably not. But who's to say they don't? It just would have looked different. Nebraska probably would have been a little bit more offensively focused, would have had to maybe overcompensate a little bit more on defense. But for every, steal that Sam Hoiberg got that Kendall Blue wouldn't have, what if there's, 2 more made threes per game? Or Kendall Blue, shoots 40% from play like he did at St. Thomas, as opposed to the mid-30s that Sam did. Maybe you take 3 points off the board with Sam, but you add 3 points to your tally
there you go.
With Kendall Blue. I think that Nebraska is still comfortably a tournament team because of the players, but because of the coaching staff, because they don't panic, because they don't blink, because they have those contingencies that you mentioned.
And that's where, once again, I think it goes to how Fred Hoiberg and this team, or how the staff wants to build it, right? And that's where we talked about in the first segment, talking about the extensions and everything, the Garrett, the promises to Monahan and Lenzer and Ziegler and those guys. They could have the same amount of success going the next 2 years. I think we're past the time where Fred's going to have to make wholesale changes. And I would love, there was a texter that talked about truth serum. I don't even think you need to, I don't even think you need to inject truth serum. I think Fred will tell you that they didn't maybe expect Sam Hoiberg. Sam told us at Big Ten Media Days.
Well, you interviewed him, so
he told us at Big Ten Media Days, like, his plan was to come here, red shirt, or not, just not play, and then to transfer to a D2 school. Like that he told us that was his plan. And so even Sam will tell you that he didn't expect his career to go this way, but it did ultimately, and the rest is history. I think though that let's pivot a little bit this way to where, Austin, I'll ask you the question: are Fred Hoiberg's hardest days as Nebraska's coach behind him? Not that's not me saying you can just coast, right? Because obviously now it's okay, Sweet 16. What's the next step to get to an Elite 8, right? Or maybe it's how can you just maintain to get to the round of 32, right? Maybe that whatever each fan subjectively feels like is the next step for Nebraska basketball. You're not going to be able to coast, and I don't think Fred Hoiberg will do that. But ultimately, you're coming off of such a historic season and such a historic turnaround these last 3.5 years, if you will. I would find it safe to say that the hardest days of Fred Hoiberg's time as the Nebraska head coach are behind him.
Yeah, depending on how you define that, because I think that the most trying, most challenging, most personally difficult, the darkest days are certainly behind Fred Hoiberg. But I think that it shouldn't be as hard as Nebraska has made it look to be a consistent 18-plus win program. And other coaches at Nebraska, other groups of players at Nebraska have made it look difficult. And there's no cruise control button in running a college basketball program.
No.
The foot is still on the gas pedal. And I've heard it kind of described this way. The 10-mile-an-hour jump going from 25 to 35 feels a lot bigger than the 10-mile-an-hour jump going from 65 to 75.
Sure.
Nebraska basketball right now was probably sitting at 70. Going fast, going well, but you still had other teams going 75, going 80. You're still getting passed on the interstate. Nebraska, I'm with you, is not going to, aside, freak injuries, year from hell that happens to every program every so often, is not going to have to pull off on the side of the road and call AAA, But Nebraska does have to find a way to push to 75.
Yeah.
To push to 80. Maybe to push to 85 and know where the speed traps are, because just because Nebraska won 28 games this year does not lock Nebraska in as a 22-plus win program time unending.
Sure.
And so I think it's a different challenge because we saw that Nebraska made it a third of the way to a national championship in the 6-game tournament. Nebraska probably should have made it halfway into the Elite 8. And then you take your chances with it, with a team that you beat. that you split within the regular season. But what you saw is that you were better, you were improved, and yet you still have climb to go, which is where Fred Hoiberg, I think, is okay. Again, take this in the best possible way. Bo Pelini stuck at 9-3 or 10-4.
Mm-hmm.
Was it easy for him to take it from 5-7 to 9-3? It appeared for Bo Pelini, taking it from 5-7 under Callahan to 9-3 was the easy part. The hard part, the hard days in a different way for Bo Pelini were in trying to get over the hump, and he never did. Nebraska got over the hump of tournament win, but guess what? Nebraska still hasn't been to an Elite Eight, still hasn't been to a Final Four. There are still ways that Nebraska can go higher. They didn't max out, and so there won't ever be the same conversation about Fred Hoiberg's job security. Is he really the right guy? Is it just a splash hire? Oh, too much NBA this. Oh, they need to play better defense and rebound. I think those conversations in the big picture sense are behind us. But I do think it's still going to be a massive challenge for Nebraska to catch up to some of the teams that are at the tippy top of the sport. Nebraska has aspects of it, but getting the offense to the level of the defense and preventing defensive backslide and continuing to bring in enough talent to make it work, to start competing for maybe bigger, more consistent talent on a higher level. I think we led the show with this. Nebraska's coaches are going to be in high demand the more this continues, right?
Sure.
Kurt Joseph left probably for a step up to run an NBA team's sports performance division. That's huge. Nate Lenzer is interviewing for coaching jobs. Pat Monahan has been to some rising star stuff.
Yeah. You're
You're going to lose coaches, and it's not going to be easy to replace them. So it's going to be a different kind of challenge. I don't know if it's an easier one or a harder one.
I think so. We get this text from Jason on the text line 464-5685 says Fred is an okay coach. I will give him that, but he is still under 500 at Nebraska. He's got much more to prove at Nebraska. We'll see. Stay tuned. That's from Jason on our text line. Here's what I would say. And maybe it's unfair that I do this, and maybe this is being biased, if you will. And it's okay to call me out on the text line. I'm fine with that. I split up Fred Hoiberg's tenure at Nebraska into two. I look at, all right, 2019 to 2022, and then I look at 2022 to 2026. Not simply just because the wins and losses, but because of the foundational change that, frankly, Fred probably looked at himself in the mirror. And I don't know what the type of, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm connected. I'm much more, I guess, connected is fine. Connected with how things are handled now with the people in those buildings in the last 3 years versus how it was from 2019 to 2022. But what I am going to say is that I don't know what the pressure was like. I don't know if there was conversations of like, hey, Fred, look, you got to change something because right now you are combined 24 and, if I do quick math here, 24 and 42, 67. 67. You're 24 and 67 in 3 years. Something's got to change.
And it did.
And if there is pressure, fine. That's why I look at it differently, because I look at, and that's why I asked if Fred Hoiberg's hardest days are behind him, because going from, frankly, where there was very little fan engagement, 10 and 22, you jumped up from 7 wins to 10 wins. Nobody's going to give you a pat on the back for that. Even 10 wins to 16 wins. Nobody's going to give you the pat on the back for that. But you know what they will do at a place like Nebraska is you were in the, I think we forget, Nebraska basketball this year was in the top 10 for more weeks of the season than they weren't. Like that, think about what we're talking about there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look up, and so, 3 consecutive 20+ win seasons. Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? Nice job there. Also, if we want to bring the record into it, I understand under 500 still. I'm pretty confident in saying that's not going to be the case for much longer. Fred Hoiberg is sitting here at Nebraska with a 112 and 115 record as the coach. That's not going to be the case after next year. Like, if you want, like, we can do that, sure. You know what else I'll point out? Nebraska finished in the top 15 in the final AP poll for the first time since 1990. They finished in the top 25 of the final AP poll for the first time since 1993. Just for the third time in school history, they finished the season as a ranked team. Those types of things, like, I get what Jason is saying. There's still some to prove. Now we're in the maintain phase.
Yes.
It's not the jump up phase. Mm-hmm. It's the maintain phase.
Yes.
And I think about it this way, losing weight, right? Man, once you get going, it's easy to lose that first 10 to 15 pounds once you get to a strict regimen. Nebraska's done that with the 20 wins, right? Now it's time to prove that you can keep that weight off. Now it's time to prove that you can sustain a roster, you can sustain the culture, you can sustain a staff, because as you pointed out, Austin, guys will move on, rightfully so, the way they deserve to. Is Fred Hoiberg able to replace those guys? He has, for the most part. And are they able to come in, slide in smooth, and not skip a beat? That's what the maintain phase will show us in these next couple of seasons.
I want to stick on this. We'll go a little bit long in this segment. I'm with you completely on the record point. I think about it this way. Peyton Manning led the NFL in interceptions his rookie year. Dug himself a pretty big hole. Look at this bust. Steve Young, also really bad at the quarterback position his first 2 years, and then took over for some guy named Joe Montana. Kind of a big deal. I think about Ned Yost with the Royals. Started off really poor. 55 wins, 71, 72. His first 3 years, and then ended up with 80, 58, and 59 in his time. Let's also put it in perspective this way, Nebraska basketball specific. Fred Hoiberg, 7-22, both of his first 2 seasons?
Yeah.
He just completely made up for one of those seasons this year. If you take Fred Hoiberg's first season at 7-22 and this year, guess what? That's 35-29. Okay, so you cancel out one of those. Next year, if you can get another 25 plus wins, you're going to cancel out that one. Fred Hoiberg has 3 seasons under 500, 1 smack dab at 500, and 3 seasons of 20 plus wins. 4 of them 2 years ago now in the college basketball crown. But hey, 20 wins is 20 wins, baby. First time since the 90s that's happened. We're not saying Fred Hoiberg is perfect. It's a testament to his flexibility, to his players, to his coaching staff, to his basketball acumen, to the athletic department, the various athletic directors and boosters and donors that gave him the support to get to this point. But right now, Fred Hoiberg's career at Nebraska is that little knife on Thanos' finger. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. 3 really bad seasons, 3 pretty dang good seasons, and 1 in the middle. Which is not to say Fred Hoiberg did the snap and everything's perfect and fixed.
No.
It's not to excuse away the first 3 years. It's to put in perspective how unlikely these last 3 years have been for Nebraska, given how poor those first 3 years were.
Yeah.
That's where I land with it. Let's take a break. More from you guys on their Starter Heyman Jewelers text line after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Hosine, candidate for the University of Nebraska Board of Regents. Husker athletics has never been stronger. Let's champion the same mindset across our entire university: academics, research, and opportunity. As a neurosurgeon, former regent, and proud Husker, I'm running to stand up for NU's future, because this matters to my family and yours. NU needs us, and we need NU. On May 12th, vote Dr. Jeremy Hosine for Regent, for our students, for our future.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Attention Lincoln riders, mark your calendars and get your gear ready. This is the weekend you've been waiting for. The official Honda factory demo truck is rolling into Nebraska for a massive 2-day event. This Friday and Saturday, May 8th and 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, the big red Honda Semi will be at Rod's Power Sports in Southwest Lincoln, unloading a fleet of 22 brand new 2026 motorcycles. Experience the legendary Gold Wing, the adventure-ready Transalp, or the high-performance CBR sport bikes. They're all here and ready for you to ride. Bring your gear and your motorcycle endorsement because these test rides are free. Plus, just for completing a ride, Honda is handing out $250 in Demo Bucks coupons. You can use those savings toward any new, unregistered Honda two-wheeled motorcycle anytime within the next 30 days. At Rod's, it's a party for the whole family. We'll have free refreshments all weekend long with fresh brats served on Saturday. Saturday is also Family Day. Bring the kids out for fun games and activities while you check out the new lineup. Rod's Power Sports, 1030 South Taylor Road, your only Level 5 Honda powerhouse in Nebraska. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Cinco de Mayo will be here before you know it on May 5th, and Tipsy Tina's is the place to be. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 2 p.m. on May 5th for the Street Festival, featuring piñatas, giveaways, and more. Plus, see llamas from Sweet and Sassy Llama Farm from 5:30 to 7:30. DJ Joe Cruz will entertain starting at 7 p.m. with a spicy taco eating contest at 7:30. And the best part, as always, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Tuesday, May 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. at 8th and Q.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Big thanks to Schweizo Construction for helping sponsor the show. Really appreciate them. At Schweizo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. They're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off the job site. Apply today at Schweizo.com. 40-plus years strong in business. Schweizo Construction, 402-464-5685. If you'd like to be a part of the show on our starter Heyman Jewelers text line, y'all are great. Y'all have continued to be great. Jason texts back. You guys made good points. Just holding those first 3 years against him, I guess. I was really underwhelmed with Fred in the Matt Abdelmassi era. It's changing for the better, I know. Jason, we all were. And again, we're not trying to come at you, but it's okay to let go. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to enjoy the ride and give credit where it's due. We saw a couple of your texts from last month in the aftermath of everything, and they're going to have a hard time living down the way the season ended with who it ended against and how it got ended before the game was even over, right? We don't have to relitigate that because it's going to follow those guys and haunt them for the rest of their careers. But I think we have to have confidence that it's not going to derail the program. Oh, Nebraska missed its shot. They're never getting back here again. The program is on as stable a footing, I think, as it's ever been.
Oh, absolutely. I think, Jace, like, I get you, man. The part about the underwhelming those first 3 years and holding them, I was really underwhelmed with Fred in the Abdomasi era. Weren't we all?
Yeah.
Like, you are absolutely not alone on that one. And I mean, frankly, that let's be honest, is Fred Hoiberg has completely shifted who he's tied his ship to.
And 95% of the time plus, he's fired after those 3 years.
Amen to that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's what we just said. What was the 24 and 67? Even at a place like Nebraska, that's not good enough. And so, like, I think, once again, I piggyback on exactly what Austin said regarding this place is on more stable ground and a stable foundation than I ever thought it was going to be on, frankly. And I would feel that way whether they beat Iowa or whether they lost to Iowa or whether they lost to Vanderbilt. Like, I still would feel the same exact way
because the process just feels so much more sustainable
because they have a process.
Yes.
It's like we can sit here and talk about, it's, they feel more stable and there's a process and there's, we can't overlook the fact that a coaching staff has a plan and they've executed that plan. And
for 3 years now,
like, over time, this is where I just continue to go back to this. And I mean, I'm basically regurgitating some of the things that I talked about after once the portal opened up, really was like, I just don't ever see Nebraska being this flashy program that is going to go out and get McDonald's All-American after McDonald's All-American. And sure, they'll be in the hunt because they are good coaches for the 5 stars. Like, they're going to be in the hunt. I would look at it this way. Everybody wants to compare football and basketball, right? So let's go ahead and compare football and basketball. I understand that things are different because you have a lot larger of a roster for football, but the same thought process can be kind of talked about here. Nebraska basketball will be in the market for 5 stars because they fit what they want to do. Nebraska football will be did I say Nebraska basketball? Nebraska basketball will be in the market for 5 stars because they fit what they want to do. They will not fail because they don't get the 5 stars.
Yeah.
Nebraska football goes after 5 stars for flash, for headlines.
Seemingly to cover up some issues somewhere else.
Bingo.
Oh, they're in the hunt. They're in the chase. Can they land him? Can this be the guy?
Poor development, poor coaching. Let's call it what it has been, right?
And this is 5 stars Raiola, last name aside.
This is, and frankly, the last 10 years of the football program, this predates Matt Rule. Like, this is not just a Rule conversation, is that you want to know the commentary around 5 stars and different views of the programs. Look at what just happened when Ahmad Hudson went to LSU. Donovan Davis, who's a fringe 5-star, is about to commit and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
About to commit somewhere. Might be Nebraska, might not be Nebraska.
Marquette, Iowa State.
Yes.
Among the front runners.
Might commit. Nobody talks about it.
Wisconsin, the other.
Yeah. Nobody's talking about it. Donovan Davis was just on campus a couple of weeks ago. Nobody's talking about it because there's some sort of just universal confidence that no matter what happens, the ship is not going to get unbalanced and the train's not going to fall off the tracks. It's not in a fragile spot.
No.
The other spot, the other program, very fragile. And if you need proof of that, what just happened this last weekend when Ahmad Hudson, who has been, a
priority target,
a polarizing recruit. Everybody loves the fact that he's the number 1 tight end. Everybody loves the fact that he's a 5-star.
He has a relationship with your quarterback in that class too.
There you go.
Highly public one.
Right? But at the end of the day, Nebraska football is not going to win or lose games, and they shouldn't be winning or losing games based on one singular 5-star recruit.
Which is funny because 5-star talents should have an outsized impact in basketball more than they do in football.
Yeah.
Just by nature of the sport.
100%.
And let me phrase it this way.
And basically smaller roster size, so you have a larger potential impact, right?
IQ Crew makes that point. He still has to maximize his team's abilities moving forward, regardless if the level of talent has increased or not.
Amen.
Nebraska ball fan says, Fred must be a pretty good coach. It's not like he's winning with lottery pick players.
Bingo.
He's working with what he has. Number one, let's not sell Nebraska's talent short.
Yeah.
It's upgraded. It's better. Price Sanford
It's also what they want.
It's what they want, which is important.
Yes.
Nebraska basketball has gotten the courtesy visit from 5 stars before.
Yeah.
They had Jalil Okafor.
I was just going to say Jalil Okafor. That's a great one.
They got a visit from Koa Pete.
Yep.
Top 5 freshman in college basketball this year, right? Nebraska has gotten those guys to campus, but never necessarily landed them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say Nebraska shouldn't go after them, especially if they fit what Nebraska wants to do. You at least shoot your shot, and maybe here in a couple of years, you pull a surprise. And you land one of these guys, but it's never going to be the focus of the backbone for Nebraska's recruiting. And I hate to make this comparison again, but I think it's apt. Think about how many years under Fran McCaffrey in a row Iowa made the NCAA tournament. Obviously never advanced very far, but we're there. We're in the picture, pulled their fair share of upsets. We're in or around the top 25 relatively consistently. When Iowa was a 2 seed? When it had the NBA player on the roster in Luka Garza and built around him. Horrible watch, by the way. And he was one of 3 Boston Celtics starters to not score a point in Game 7 against the Sixers. That's neither here nor there. But that's where I think Nebraska can get to. You think about Wisconsin and the team that made it to the Final Four. Good recruits.
Yeah.
Sam Decker
You had a guy,
was there.
Nigel Hayes, that fell off the face of the earth.
Right.
Where'd that guy go?
Well, you had Frank Kaminsky. There was a lottery guy, but didn't do anything in the NBA. There's no reason Nebraska can't grow into the program that's just a bunch of really good college players.
Yeah.
Get an NBA look, get a shot, maybe get drafted at some point. I think Price Sanford obviously has a chance to play his way into first round consideration, depending on how the year goes. But even if he doesn't get there, the second rounder, that's a guy that's getting an NBA look in some form or fashion. There's a reason Derek Walker got a look. There's a reason Bryce Williams got a look. There's a reason Juwan Gary got a look. The list goes on and on and on. Nebraska can shoot its shot for some McDonald's All-Americans.
Sure.
Nebraska can get into that business of going after these high-profile recruits because it won't hurt anything. But Nebraska's never going to change who it is at its core. And so I don't want fans to say, oh, well, if you just make the second weekend, well, look at the talent you're going up against on the other side. That, to me, is selling what this program can be way short. It's selling Fred Hoiberg, his coaching abilities and developmental abilities of his staff well short, because other programs in Nebraska's area and neighborhood also have not had consistent lottery talent and gone pretty far.
I think that there's, one thing, I want to go back to this Nebraska ball fan text before we go to break real quick, because you read it and I'll read it again here. Fred must be a pretty good coach. It's not like he's winning with lottery pick players. He's working with what he has. I want to make sure that, like every single program, do you strike out on some guys? Absolutely.
Yes,
right.
and
naturally you're going to throw your line in the water and see, okay, hey, maybe is this year's Elliot Cadeau potentially interested in Nebraska, right? Like feel it out. Right. But also right now it's unfair to the staff, and Nebraska ball fan. I'm guessing you didn't mean it this way. It's unfair to the staff for us to sit here behind the microphones and be like, yeah, they're working with what they have. That's really good. No, they're working with what they want.
Yes.
Like Nebraska is capable of going out and getting what they want. As long as you know what you want.
Yes.
And that's where it's, as long as that's the biggest change from the first 3 years of Fred Hoiberg up until the last 4.
Yeah.
Or up until the last 3.5, I should say, is it's not just blindly throwing a dart on the wall and hoping it sticks in the bullseye department.
Yeah.
That's the biggest change. And so as we go forward here, 100%, not lottery pick players. Maybe they get lucky. Maybe they find a guy that really has interest in Nebraska. Maybe they find a guy that has ties, who for whatever reason. Just even if you were to go get him, it's not like they're going to change their philosophy for the guy. And that's where it's different. That's what's changed. You changed your philosophy and what you wanted to do for guys like Cam Mack. And like, don't forget the guys.
Well, what if what if we see, Hanif Cheatham 3 years later?
Bingo.
Could he have been Juwan Gary? I think so.
100%.
Could Deshaun Burke have played the Jamarcus Lawrence role?
Amen. Yeah,
yes,
great comp. Great comp.
But guess what? They were asked to be the guy instead of a cog in the machine.
And that's just unfortunate timing on multiple parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunate, poor recruiting plan on multiple parties, Fred Hoiberg included. I think it's okay to say that.
We're not wiping the blame off of Fred Hoiberg for the way the first 3 years went. At the end of the day, he's the head coach. It's his program. It does reflect on him.
Frankly, he brought the people into the building, staff-wise, that didn't work out. But that's where, when we do talk about the fact that he's winning with the Sam Hoiberg, since we brought them up earlier, Sam Hoiberg, Cale Jacobsons, those guys, right? That not only speaks to, instead of having it in the frame of, this is what you get, this is all you can get at Nebraska. It's no, this is what they intentionally wanted for some reason, and they have belief in their ability to develop. They have belief in their ability to build guys and build their bodies the way that they need them to be. Sure. Are they going to be undersized? Maybe will they have a rebounding deficiency? Maybe, right? Like that's just the case. Because they're not going to sell their souls to one or two guys.
Yeah.
And frankly, as a supporter of this program, and I don't want to speak for all the fans listening right now, but I think it's safe to say that if you were given option one, all right, year after year, you're going to go after the biggest fish in the transfer portal, put all of your eggs into that basket, and maybe understand the risk that you might have to change your holistic identity for this guy year after year. Or option two is what Nebraska basketball's got right now and what they have set up and built for the future. I would hope that even in this day of NIL and transfer portal era, that 99.9% of the fans listening right now of Husker basketball say option two, because that's where we're at right now and we need to enjoy it.
More on this from you on the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. He's Nick Sainer. I'm Moss Norman. This is Old School.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Attention Lincoln riders, mark your calendars and get your gear ready. This is the weekend you've been waiting for. The official Honda factory demo truck is rolling into Nebraska for a massive 2-day event. This Friday and Saturday, May 8th and 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, the big red Honda Semi will be at Rod's Power Sports in Southwest Lincoln, unloading a fleet of 22 brand new 2026 motorcycles. Experience the legendary Gold Wing, the adventure-ready Transalp, or the high-performance CBR sport bikes. They're all here and ready for you to ride. Bring your gear and your motorcycle endorsement because these test rides are free. Plus, just for completing a ride, Honda is handing out $250 in Demo Bucks coupons. You can use those savings toward any new, unregistered Honda two-wheeled motorcycle anytime within the next 30 days. At Rod's, it's a party for the whole family. We'll have free refreshments all weekend long with fresh brats served on Saturday. Saturday is also Family Day. Bring the kids out for fun games and activities while you check out the new lineup. Rod's Power Sports, 1030 Saltillo Road, your only Level 5 Honda powerhouse in Nebraska. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Allo Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit allofiber.com/all-in.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Putting a bow on hour 2 of Old School, but that's not the end of the show, obviously. Got a full third hour to go. Austin Orman, Nick Sainert with you. We haven't talked really any baseball, and that's going to be the topic coming up here in hour number 3. If you have more basketball stuff, though, you know, I'm at the controls, and I can talk about it if we want. But
we also had other stuff that we were going to talk about.
But we're having too much fun.
We didn't expect to talk about whatever you want to categorize the first hour.
We had on our rundown 1 segment of basketball, and we've done 4.
Yeah.
And about to be 5. So God bless Nebraska basketball. Another sign of the times that it's where it should be. Let's get to Virginia Pirate right now. Nebraska ball's in on a lot of talented 2027 recruits, though. That's new. Direct result of recent success, I'd say. Whether they get Davis or not, I'm confident they'll be getting a name. That's new. It wasn't the case previously. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly fair.
I think it's also what they need. So you look at
and they have a proven track record at that position with the wings, ball handling, scoring types of wings.
Well, they have the one guy already, right? For 2027.
Yeah, they have
Ty
Schlegel. Yep.
Yeah.
Creighton Durham Hall.
Thank you.
Yep. Probably beat Jay Foreman in football back in the day, but
hold on. So 1 second. Because so
he's a point guard, by the way.
Our friend of the show, Robin Washut, he put something on I just need to find it. It was basically the roster construction. I think this was notable. If I can just find it, news. Anyway, it basically talked about Nebraska after this year is going to have a lot of experience to replace again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see if we see Nebraska in one of these next couple of years, whether it's 27, 28. I don't know which one it's going to be. We should just talk to Peyton Borders about it. I'd be curious to see if they go a little more high school heavy in one of these years. Because sure, like I don't know, like they've taken the last 3 years out of high school each year, and obviously they haven't stuck around. Like the Nick Janowskis have moved on, the Quentin Rhymes have moved on. I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where they take 5.
Let's play this out to 2028, 29. Sophomore Schlegel at the point.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could go sophomore Jacob Lanier.
Yep.
Or junior Jacob Lanier in 28, 29 at 2. Junior Colin Rice at the 3.
Yep.
Sophomore Donovan Davis / London Dada / Brazilian kid at the 4. And senior Leo Curtis at the 5. Hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think in the interim, Nebraska will still try to hit the market for a transfer point guard or 2, a transfer big man or 2, just for depth purposes. But I think there's an argument to be made that Nebraska could go the high school route.
And just like it's going to be just like one of their classes. They go a little heavier high school, not all 100% high school to where they don't go after the portal. I think they're always going to go after some portal pieces, and they should.
Oh yeah, that's the day and era.
Yeah, it's the day and age.
Since we got to get break, I want to get to this from 9174, kind of on that point. Do the high-profile recruits fit Fred's system? Selfless, team-first type of kids. I asked Fred Hoiberg about this, and he answered it in a way that I really appreciated. He said, we're always going for fit, for personality, for character, good people, and then my job is to get the most talent and make it fit. Fred Hoiberg is done taking, I'm not going to say done taking ball-dominant players, but guys with the wrong attitude. He's had enough. It's about culture. It's about personality. The best guys with the most talent he can get. But I also, being a fan of another college basketball team, think that a bunch of these top recruits get a really bad rap just because they're 5 stars and high 4 stars. Just because they're rated high doesn't mean they're bad dudes. Like AJ DeBonsa wasn't selfish, but when Richie Saunders goes down and Rob Wright is adjusting and you're down a center and you're a potential number 1 overall pick and your coach is empowering you to do a bunch, AJ DeBonsa wasn't selfish. Darren Peterson, by all accounts, good dude behind the scenes. Weird saga, whatever. Cam Boozer, not a selfish player, even though the team was built around him. Cooper Flagg, not a selfish player, even though the team was built around him, right? Just because you have 5 stars attached to your name doesn't make you a diva, doesn't make you selfish. Michael Brown from Louisville, not selfish necessarily. Kingston Flemings, not selfish. Can't be in that program. Chris Senack could have been really selfish in derail Houston's season. Guess what? By all accounts, he didn't.
Yeah.
So let's be fair to the young men and women that are 5 stars as well. Britt Prince, has she been a diva in Nebraska? No, far from it. So be fair to the kids. Just because they're highly rated doesn't mean they're all about them and not the team.
Bingo.
So let's keep this kind of coaching big picture conversation going. Flip it to the diamond. Nebraska softball headed out to College Park. Nebraska baseball hosting senior day this weekend. Let's talk about those 2 programs, the state of the program, the jobs, when we get back to hour 3 of Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Attention Lincoln riders, mark your calendars and get your gear ready. This is the weekend you've been waiting for. The official Honda factory demo truck is rolling into Nebraska for a massive two-day event. This Friday and Saturday, May 8th and 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, the big red Honda Semi will be at Rod's Power Sports in Southwest Lincoln, unloading a fleet of 22 brand new 2026 motorcycles. Experience the legendary Gold Wing, the adventure-ready Transalp, or the high-performance CBR sport bikes. They're all here and ready for you to ride. Bring your gear and your motorcycle endorsement because these test rides are free. Plus, just for completing a ride, Honda is handing out $250 in Demo Bucks coupons. You can use those savings toward any new, unregistered Honda two-wheeled motorcycle anytime within the next 30 days. At Rod's, it's a party for the whole family. We'll have free refreshments all weekend long with fresh brats served on Saturday. Saturday is also Family Day. Bring the kids out for fun games and activities while you check out the new lineup. Rod's Power Sports, 1030 South Taylor Road, your only Level 5 Honda powerhouse in Nebraska. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda motorcycles are for riders 16 years and older.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Aloe Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit aloefiber.com/all-in.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Turn comfort into savings with Peak Rewards from LES. Enroll your smart thermostat to earn $25 while helping balance energy use with small short-term adjustments that benefit the whole community. Learn more at les.com/peak rewards.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Woo! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we go, hour 3 of Old School on a beautiful Tuesday here in the capital city. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, Nick Sainer with you. Jay Foreman out all week, so we'll have a piecemeal ragtag crew here on Old School starting today. I mean, we're just surviving, hanging on by the skin of our teeth. This kid.
Yeah.
2086, go Cubs go.
Huge, man.
We were talking about this at the end of last week.
They're so good.
I'm a Royals fan. We know that by now. There are times that I just start humming "Go Cubs Go."
Dude, I'm telling you, man,
It's just catchy. It's just in my head.
It's catchy. It's Austin.
The September experience we had was transcendental.
I mean, we were there. Yeah, I can't wait to be back. I have until the end of July. The end of July is when I get to go back and going to Yankees Cubs. And I'm glad we already bought the tickets now because they will probably go up in price, but the closer we get to that point.
Oh, I thought you were going to say so you didn't have to deal with it at Eppley Airfield again.
Well, that, but yeah, that was stressful. But anyway, no, it's just, it's good that they're good, man. Michael Conforto hits a walk-off home run last night. I mean, they have the Reds again tonight, 6:40 first pitch. It's special right now. They're going to be buyers at the deadline. They've re-signed their core, their young guys. They traded away Owen Casey, which seems like the right call, not to trade Moises Ballesteros. Man, it's just things are looking up.
Trade for an arm and you're set.
That is the one thing that I will say. They need to start asking questions about why some of our better pitchers are always getting hurt early in the year.
Well, maybe they could dip into the Nebraska ball ranks. It's a couple former Huskers.
That's right.
Are moving up, Nick, in the Major League Baseball ranks. Just yesterday, I think it was, we got news that Brett Sears got promoted, got the bump from AA to AAA, about a year and a half young for the level right now for Brett Sears. 2-1 win-loss record in 4 games there at AA, 3.22 ERA across 22 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts to 6 walks. Good on Brett Sears. He has flown through the Braves system. Not the guy I would have anticipated. Yeah, I thought he was the depth arm for them, and maybe they see something interesting. But the last time we saw Brett Sears was Nebraska, Florida. Not a full, college title winning lineup, a good lineup. Brett Sears was fine. He was good. Credit to Atlanta for finding ways to make him more and more effective. What a great, story, a cool moment for him. Obviously, they did that with Spencer Schwellenbach. You could kind of see the outline for, big guy thrown in the mid to upper 90s, a two-way player, bunch of untapped upside. But the other guy in the Braves system that got promoted, how about this? Drew Christo.
Yeah.
Quick. From low A at the end of last year, early on in the season, he's already up to high A. Good for Drew Christo, man.
It is. And that's a guy whose college career just was so stagnant, unfortunately. Well, it just, every single time he would maybe put a couple of appearances together, and then he would have one that just completely fell off the map. And he was a guy.
Never figure out his role.
No, yeah, and it was. Is he a mid guy? Is he a high leverage arm? It was like, I think the staff wanted him so badly to be a high leverage arm, and you just weren't able to get it out of him, which is surprising because out of high school, I mean, that was a potential MLB guy.
Yeah,
out of Elkhorn. That was the time where the draft was like minimized to 5 rounds. And part of the conversation was like, hey, if it wasn't a 5-round draft, Drew Christo has MLB opportunities right off the bat. And does he make it to Nebraska? The rest is history. I just think, man, it was, with Drew, it's crazy. I was trying to look up, like, Shea Shanneman just got his first professional save the other day.
Oh, good for Shea.
So there you go. He's in the Boston Red Sox organization.
Which, yikes, Red Sox.
Yeah.
Not the purpose of the segment, but sorry, continue.
But yeah, so I mean, it's just, that's where Nebraska's pitching at the college level hasn't been great, but they've put guys in the league. And at least in organizations. Max Anderson's at AAA, right? Bryce Matthews is still
going yard every other game.
Yeah. Still doing stuff for the Houston Astros. Like,
Jake Myers is still around.
Which, by the way, we found out the other day looking at the Toledo Mud Hens that if you want to go and watch Max Anderson, then they, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, Toledo will be in Omaha against the Storm Chasers Tuesday through Sunday. And Max Anderson's playing third base.
High School State Baseball Week.
That's right.
Get excited.
Same exact time.
Indeed.
Maybe we'll just have to stay after a state baseball game and watch the homestand against the Toledo Mudheads, watch some Max Anderson.
I might just have to do that. Sounds like fun to me.
Okay.
Drew Christo, by the way, last year, 5 games, did get a start. 8 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 15 strikeouts, and 6 walks. But that's fine. You can work with that. His first appearance this year, he's pitched in 7 games, gone 9 innings with 2 saves, 2 earned runs, across 150 pitches, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, 194 batting average against, even 1 whip.
Wow.
So move Drew Christo to the bullpen, find a new pitch. Steph takes up.
Yeah. And that's just the difference. I mean, we talked about this a lot. Where it's like, okay, in college you need really in all honesty, if you throw mid to upper 90s, you need a fastball that you can consistently pop at 95 plus. And then you need some sort of off speed, whether that's a lot of guys, it's a slider, right? That they might be able to break off at 85, right? You need some sort of speed change capability. In the college level, you can get away, I think, probably having 2 pitches. Once you're in the big leagues, though, you need 3 established pitches that you can control game in and game out. And so I think, that's the other side of like, as we look at Nebraska, and I know we're transcending this way, but like, as you look at Nebraska and what kind of their problems have been on the mound, because I think that's the side that's unfortunately going to hinder Nebraska as postseason continues to loom and approach. I don't want to make it sound too simple or make it sound like I'm sitting there going, oh, it's just easy. Anybody can do it. The ability to just pump strikes is so important, especially when you have an offense like Nebraska.
Yeah.
Because you just need to figure out ways to get off the field. Let your defense work.
Yeah. It's one thing, though, to pump strikes against the Big Ten and another in regional.
Big time.
And I think Nebraska's had enough success in the Big Ten, but it's finding that next level where Carson Yasa shouldn't be a once every few years guy.
Yeah.
You need to find the pipeline of Carson Yasas. And again, not many guys out there walking around, 6'7", 215 with that natural ability. But, to go back to the Brett Sears point, that's great if Nebraska can get those. They made Brett Sears into a well-deserving Big Ten pitcher of the year. Can the next Brett Sears be a Sunday guy instead of a Friday night guy? Mason McConaughey, good. Was there anything else in him? I would like to have seen it, except for the injury that ended his year.
Where's he at? Because he's in the Braves organization, right?
I thought he was Rangers, wasn't he? Was it the
Yes,
Braves?
right. Maybe it is.
I
Yeah,
thought,
you're right.
I thought it was the Rangers.
Mason McConaughey.
Don't quote me on that, though.
You're right. It's the
Okay.
Texas Rangers.
Okay. Like Chance Roach was in the Rockies for a while, playing some independent ball, unaffiliated ball, I think. It's great that you can have those guys, but how is Nebraska baseball going to win? What is the Rob Childress type of pitcher? I still don't think we know. And to be fair, I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. If I'm going to give Nebraska basketball credit for not having a cut and paste, need this archetype of guy to succeed, I can't necessarily hold that against Nebraska baseball. But I would say there's a higher correlation of success in baseball at all levels between velocity and stuff plus, so total movement and location, and pitching success than there is between, ratings or, shooting percentages or whatever in basketball. And, one pitcher can exert so much more control over the game in his start than any one basketball player in some way.
Let me ask you a question. Who is Nebraska's most dominant pitcher this year?
Ben Unger, hasn't it?
I would say so, too.
Pretty clearly?
I would say so, too.
I mean, Yasa, maybe? He's had a blow up or two, and he'll walk some guys, but he's got the filthiest stuff on the team.
Yeah. The most MLB ready stuff is Carson Yasa.
Yeah.
Jay-Sean Unger, now granted, sample size, 32 and a third, a 3.62 earned run average. Now ERA is not everything.
Right. Especially for his role.
Yeah. So even on that note, your lowest ERA out of your starters.
Wait a minute. Let me think here.
Okay.
I was going to say Blackowitz before the blow up.
It is.
It's still Blackowitz?
It's still Blackowitz.
Okay.
3.08. It's fine. Right?
Yeah.
I think Nebraska, this year was kind of the year I felt as confident about the starting rotation as a whole than I have the last couple of years. I think the reason I say that is because I'm still not like sending Cooper Katsky off.
Yeah, no.
Like I think like we've had a lot of texts when AD and I have talked about it. I don't know about you guys. that's like,
I'm
all
not
right,
allowed to talk baseball with my co-host, but that's why I'm grateful for days like today.
yeah, but like I've had a lot of response in that Cooper Katsky experiment needs to be done. And I'm just not there.
What?
Like I'm just not there. And I guess let me ask you this question, Austin. Are Nebraska's bigger problems in their weekend rotation or in their bullpen?
I still think bullpen.
Okay.
I still think bullpen. I mean, I know it doesn't look good after this weekend. You lose the 2-1 game, you give up 7, you give up 10.
Yeah, it's hard to look at this weekend.
I think the starting pitching has been more consistent, where you've generally...
On weekends.
Yes, weekends, yes. And that's the bulk of your regional in Big Ten. You're going to have to survive one start from a midweek guy. Probably. I mean, in the Big Ten tournament, if Nebraska gets a top 4 seed, they're only playing 3 games.
So those are your weekend guys.
And then in a regional, you might, in game 4, throw a midweek guy. Probably have to, or bullpen game it. But
like, you can't worry about these things necessarily right now.
But let me...
Yeah, go ahead. Finish out. Sorry.
On the bullpen, like Tucker Timmerman, has there been a leap? Not necessarily. Jalen Worthy's gotten back closer to and in the circle of trust, but where was he to start the year? That's a little weird, little concerning. Kevin Monell, I'm closer to done with Kevin Monell than I am Cooper Katsky at this point. Ty Horn.
Price Bender,
I was impressed with early on, kind of lost it. Ryan Harrahill, okay, hasn't really been thrust into those leverage innings. I like Chase Olson. Been kind of quiet the back half of the year. I still have more reservations about the bullpen.
Yeah, Tucker Timmerman hasn't been horrific.
He's been a guy.
He's been a guy. 35 and 2/3. I've been impressed with his strikeout numbers.
Mm-hmm.
25 strikeouts to only 5 walks. He's tied for, out of the bullpen, the most home runs allowed with 4.
Mm-hmm.
In 19 appearances. Opponents are hitting 266 off of him, which isn't great. But I just think that, man, I wonder sometimes, like, what is the disconnect for why Nebraska can't find bullpen arms? In addition to just one.
Well,
because this goes more so than like Rob Childress. Is this a Big Ten baseball problem?
I think it's just a baseball thing.
Okay.
Because if you think about it in the context of Major League Baseball, the hardest thing to piece together and the easiest thing to fix is a bullpen. They are so volatile year over year.
Absolutely.
Just, you can't really explain it. It's just such a different...
Well, just look at the trade deadline every year for Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah, what closers go for, what
which
setup
reliever
guys go for.
Yeah.
I think about the Royals in 2024, one of the worst bullpens up to the All-Star break. They trade for Lucas Urseg and a couple other pieces down the line, and it takes off.
The Cubs don't win a World Series without a Aroldis.
Right.
So
the Rangers don't win a World Series without a Aroldis Chapman, so on and so forth. And so I think these are, still college guys that are still finding their routine in the bullpen. I mean, most of these guys were starters. The dudes on their high school team probably still adjusting to a role. To come in, kind of cold off the bench at short notice, drop of a hat, thrust into unfamiliar circumstances in some cases. Now, if you get a clean inning, just go throw the ball.
Yeah.
Just go throw strikes. But I think there's something to, it's been a bit of a concerning trend that Nebraska hasn't had the lockdown guy necessarily consistently. I think, you can hold the nature of a bullpen against Nebraska, but at some point, you got to be able to diagnose who's got the best stuff, who throws the heaviest fastball, who's got the bitiest slider, and say, okay, you're going to close. But also, who has the it factor? Who's the gamer? Who's going to take the ball every ninth inning and say, we can lock it down? I mean, look at that 2021 bullpen. Again, I hate to go back to that team. That's kind of the gold standard. But, you knew Spencer Schwellenbach was coming in, and things were going to go well. You knew that Cam Wynn had stuff, and even if he wasn't in the zone, he threw hard enough the guys were going to guess wrong. You knew that Jake Buns could get guys out. You had Cody Frank pitching out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
That's the guy that ended up transferring to and pitching some pretty major innings at Arkansas. Had Emmett Olson out of the bullpen that year, et cetera down the line.
Okay.
And so some of it's talent, it has to be, but it should be something that's easily fixable when it just clicks for some guys, and why it hasn't clicked is the question.
That pitching staff in 2021 had essentially a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio as a team.
And Nebraska wants 3.
Yeah, right. They had 440 strikeouts as a staff and walked 165. So I mean, just under 4.
Yeah, like 3.75.
Yeah, that's
Well,
I mean, which
math.
a little less than 4. It's more than 3.
Well, 160?
Yeah,
to 44 is a little less than 3. Because 160 times 3 would be 480.
Excuse me. So
it's like 2.75.
Wow, bad math.
2.75.
That's really embarrassing. It adds up quick. Anyway, here's some of the pieces though from that roster.
This is the important part, not the math.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting out of Kate Povich.
Mm-hmm.
Povich that year.
Povich and Roach.
Yeah, Povich and Roach, and then you had your Sunday shenanigans with like Shea Shanneman and
Shannonanigans.
Yeah, and like whoever else you could kind of put together. Like I'm looking at like you had even got like a guy like Caleb Feakin, who was able to add 12 innings on the year, which is not a lot. KP came back from injury, struggled a little bit in that regional, still struck out 15.
How many innings?
10.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like Spencer Schwellenbach, these numbers are unreal. 31 2/3, had a 0.57 earned run average. Was 3-1 in 18 appearances.
Oh, and by the way, he
10
played
saves.
shortstop for 8 innings.
Yeah, 10 saves, 34 strikeouts, 8 walks, only allowed 2 runs all season long. Not a single home run was hit off of Spencer Schwellenbach.
6-6 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's filthy. Like, even though the regional appearance didn't go well for him, Jake Buns had himself a nice year, had a 2.2 ERA in 32
Buns also
innings.
got squeezed a little bit in that regional.
Big time. Had 42 strikeouts to 20 walks. Like, you can live with the 20 walks if you're striking out 42.
Yeah. Cam Wynn?
Yeah. Cam Wynn had a 3.12 earned run average in 17 innings. Had only allowed 6 runs all season long. Had 19 strikeouts, 9 walks allowed. So I just like, that's where like I look at that roster, that pitching staff, and then I look at like even the regional teams. Just because Austin, we've been fortunate enough to see regionals play out in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I go through like the hypothetical roles in my head. Okay, so we know Nebraska will start YASA game 1, right? Because the statistics of starting 1-0 in a regional and being able to win that regional are dramatic in comparison to like starting 0-1. Yep. So you have to win game 1 essentially. So you start your best, Carson Yasa, and Nebraska's shown the tendency to start their best, right? Mm-hmm. But then here's the thing: is obviously Jay-Sean Ungers, the guy. Like you hope Yasa can get you 6. Timmerman probably for inning 7.
And then the staff has not been afraid to use a 6-out save for Unger.
Yeah, then that's my point there.
Mm-hmm. But then game 2.
So you're going Blachowicz, probably into Ty Horn.
Hoping for 5+ out of Blachowicz. Hoping for 6 always. But
5 out. Let's play conservative side. 5 out of it for Blachowicz.
2 for Horn, ideally.
2 or 3 for Horn.
I'm going to say 2.
Okay, 2 for Horn. And then do you bring Tucker Timmerman back in for another inning? And then Jay-Sean?
Do you ride Manel? Do you ride Bender?
Like, who is that?
Jalen Worthley.
And we haven't even gotten to game 3.
Right.
And that's where, like, those
and in game 3, you're going to be knocking someone out.
Yeah, like in those games, in those instances, like that's where I sit here and I go, okay, they have a plan. I'm not deathly afraid of it, right? Because Nebraska, if you told me, hey, Nebraska's going to need to score 5 runs in a regional, okay, like I feel confident in Nebraska's offense, despite what we saw this last weekend, saying, okay, go ahead and go score 5 runs, especially in game 3, because there's going to be other pitching staffs that are, worn down. But that's not even, that's us talking about if everything goes to plan. Yeah. What if you find yourself in the middle of a game 1 that's a 12-8 final? Yeah, you won it, but did you have to use 5 arms in game 1 because you allowed 6 runs in the first 2 innings? Like, I just think that's kind of what happened in Oklahoma State a couple years ago where we were there, is you just kind of ran out of options.
Yeah.
And you faced a really good offensive team in Florida too.
That was clicking it right.
Yeah, in the elimination game. I mean, they made the College World Series. Not bad at all.
Yeah, you live with it. Are we accurately assessing Will Bolt's tenure at Nebraska? Multiple regionals, pushed a highly seeded Arkansas team to Game 7.
Yeah.
Are we talking about this program in the right way? We'll ask you that next.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates a dealer.
Don't ignore changes in your skin. Get them checked. May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and early detection could save your life. If you've noticed a new spot, a changing mole, or anything that doesn't look quite right, now is the time to act, not later. As you head into summer, protect your skin and stay proactive about your health. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they're here to support your care with advanced technology and a team you can trust, because catching something early can make all the difference. Advanced Medical Imaging, your partner in proactive health.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hey there, this is Paul Shield, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Sandhills Global is growing right here in Lincoln. With our expanding campus and continued growth, we're hiring across a wide range of careers, from interns to experienced professionals. Join the team at Sandhills Global and build your career with competitive pay, great benefits, and real opportunities to grow. Visit sandhills.jobs to view openings and apply today. That's sandhills.jobs.
Cinco de Mayo will be here before you know it on May 5th, and Tipsy Tina's is the place to be. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 2 p.m. on May 5th for the Street Festival, featuring piñatas, giveaways, and more. Plus, see llamas from Sweet and Sassy Llama Farm from 5:30 to 7:30. DJ Joe Cruz will entertain starting at 7 p.m. with a spicy taco eating contest at 7:30. And the best part, as always, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Tuesday, May 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. at 8th and Q.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're rolling right along through Old School. The show is absolutely flown by. Austin Norman, Nick Sainer with you. You can fly by those slow drivers on the interstate, only if your car's running right. And it's a big thank you to Graham Tire for Lincoln locations. 75 years of serving the Midwest. Get my car running right.
I was going to say, did I see that you went to Graham Tire the other day?
I did indeed. 20th and Cornhusker location. State baseball's around the corner. Had to make sure the car's in tip-top shape to make the drive up to Old Papillion.
That's right.
And just
Next
because,
week.
get your cars checked, people. Don't let it run.
I made some really plays with my vehicle the last couple of weeks. I was like 2,500 miles over on an oil change.
2,500 miles
Yeah, it was
over?
bad. It was bad. I was like, well, I got to go up to Omaha the next 4 days. I was like, I better get this taken care of. I go there and they're like, hey, the oil's a little dark. I was like, no, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised. I was
Don't
an
ask
idiot.
why.
This usually doesn't happen. I promise. I don't know why. Life
pops up. Life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
Got to be more chalant.
Much more chalant about your car
Stop
care.
being nonchalant. Be chalant.
About your car care.
Yes.
As AD would say, go get checked out. Get your
Yes.
physicals, guys.
Yes. I feel like Tristan's a chalant guy. Yeah, he's
like
chalant.
pretty chalant.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah. He gives very chalant nod.
What would Jay be? Is Jay nonchalant or is he chalant?
Jay is definitely working hard. I think
Jay's
is
a
is
chalant.
a reserved chalant.
Yeah, like he's not gonna let you know about it.
No,
but he's chalant.
That nose is to the grindstone. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, he did.
Okay.
Look at him, he didn't even turn around because he's
too
locked
chalant.
in.
Chalant.
He's too
locked
chalant.
in.
He's too direct.
Way to go.
Harrison's nonchalant though.
Clearly, I mean,
Let me
just
look
listen
at
to that guy.
look at the young lad. There he is.
That was not a quick, decisive turnaround. That was a
smoothly turns his
slow
chair.
Pivot.
Man,
slow rotation.
Yep. Anyway,
a chalant turn would have been crisp.
Be more chalant.
180 degrees.
Anyway.
Will Bolt,
Yeah.
nonchalant or chalant tenure at Nebraska? Made a regional half the time.
Yeah.
Technically 3 out of 5 in terms of full seasons. About to be 4 out of 6 in full seasons.
3 Big Ten tournaments or 3 Big Ten championships? Because 2021, didn't have a tournament, but they won the regular season.
And then, as we know, back-to-back Big Ten tournament champions in Omaha. The records: 7-8, 34-14, 23-30, 33-23-1, 40-22, and 32-27. So above 500 comfortably.
Man. All right, let's set the table here.
McMoyer style.
Yeah, right. What is the point of our conversation here, Austin, for you?
Let me take it back to a conversation we had
There you go.
in the first hour. Has Will Bolt elevated the program beyond where Darren Erstad had it?
I want to look up Darren
I have
Erstad's
Darren's stuff right in front of me here. Okay. Darren Erstad, 35-23, 29-30, 41-21 with a regional, 34-23, but below 500 in the Big Ten. Missed a regional. Back-to-back regionals at 37-22 and 35-22-1 with a Big Ten championship. 24-28, 32-24 with a regional.
Okay. I'm going to say yes. I think that the Big Ten is better than what it was. I think that's a big part of it. Nebraska not only had to beat Oregon en route to a championship last year, they also had to beat UCLA. Was that a team necessarily deserving of a regional? Maybe not.
They would not have made the field.
They would not have made the field, right?
But they did.
I saw something the other day, and it was after the Ohio State collapse, that Will Bolt's teams collapsed at the end of the season. I don't chalk Ohio State as much as maybe I should to a Nebraska problem. I more gave credit to Ohio State.
I give a lot of credit to Ohio State, who's fighting for its own season in a lot of ways. Nebraska had been due for a clunker for a while. I was worried it was going to be Illinois with the way Friday played out, and then they absolutely rebounded. We've seen Nebraska rebound from tough Friday nights before. I was bummed to see that they didn't.
Yep.
It to me, it's more of a bummer than a season killer.
Yep. It's not a season killer because we look at where Nebraska's at the RPI, which is so stupid that RPI is the end all be all, because you have a lot of late season midweek cancellations because
Texas A&M's playing a game tonight that if they win, they lose 35 points.
Yeah.
If they lose 104 points.
Yeah. If they, so right now, to give you context, Texas A&M is 8th in the RPI right now. If they win tonight against, I think they're playing like
Prairie View,
Prairie View, something like that. If they win, as Austin said, they move down to 12th in the RPI. If they win, like that's just not how it should be. Yeah. But it is what it is, and so you have a lot of teams that cancel games at this junction of the season. I think Will Bolt has elevated it. Do I think that it's reached its ceiling? Resoundingly, no.
I hope not.
Yeah, it can't be. It cannot be the ceiling. You are, year after year, you should be a top 4 team in the Big Ten Conference. Year after year, you should be in the conversation at one point towards the middle or back half of the year, I think, in terms of hosting a regional. And
a bad year should be a 3 seed.
A bad year should, okay. Yeah, a bad year should be a 3 seed. I'll let you have that one. Maybe I have higher expectations for it.
Well, again, like if you have a year from hell and you miss the tournament, your top 2 arms go down, your key bat goes down,
sure. Okay.
Lineups off, recruiting miss, whatever. Like we get that one-offs happen, but it should be able to be excused away as a one-off and not the ping-ponging and upping down like we've seen from this team, where you just have said you've never had a team that's really bottomed out under Erstad and Bolt, but there's been some tough to watch baseball at times. And I think if Nebraska elevates as a program, it's still in the field by virtue of pedigree, by virtue of having won a couple marquee early season games. Maybe had to grind through the Big Ten more than you'd like, but dang it, they didn't have to get over the finish line.
Maybe I should ask you, what do you expect their identity to be going forward? Do they try to replicate this year?
I just don't know, because we haven't seen Will Bolt lay out a coherent, consistent plan. It's looked different. And again, I don't want to hold that against him necessarily. Like I said with basketball, take the best character guys with the most talent you can get and make it fit together. But gritty, not pretty, worked pretty well. A lot of heart and nuts seems to be working pretty well for this team.
I would say it worked well until it didn't, because you tried to replicate it, and you tried to use the mantra again, and it collapsed in 22.
But that was team construction.
Okay.
But again, that's not to excuse it away. That's to say you didn't build a team in the same model after you saw something successful.
Yeah.
I don't know what Nebraska's recruiting advantage is aside from in-state guys. But when you think about Nebraska high school baseball, what's the identity of Nebraska high school baseball? Is it big power hitters? Is it big power arms? Is it control? Is it command? You just have a bunch of good, solid gamers.
Yeah. I think that the reason I talk about identity, it's so tough because Nebraska baseball has had the same staff, right, for a very long time.
Yeah.
There's been one minor change, two if you want to include Marcuso not being on staff after they passed the third paid assistant. They bring in Sirianni from Wichita State. But other than that, I mean, Rob Childress coming in.
Yeah.
But Coach Harvell has been with him ever since the start, right? And obviously Will Bolt's been at the top. I would love to have the conversation of like, what is the, and like, we can't ask that question right now. Like, that's the unfortunate part, is because there's a lot bigger fish to fry on whatever day it is, May 6th, May 5th. There's a lot bigger fish to fry than to be like, hey, so what do you guys plan to see going forward? Like, like we have there's media availability with baseball tomorrow, I believe. And it's like, if I were to go out there and ask, Coach Bolt, be like, hey, it's like, as you guys talk about what you want it to look like in the future, are you thinking that you'll set it up this way again? We'll get a very coach speak answer of like, look, we're just going to try to get the best players together. And I can't fault him for that, because sure, they'll have a plan, but right now there's a lot bigger fish to fry of like trying to host a regional.
Right.
And I would have no issue at all if Will Bolt was like, look, Nick, I understand why you're asking the question, but right now we're trying to play into a regional. I'm worried about this team. I find it fascinating because we talked off air about this, and I highly recommend any baseball fans out there to go find this clip. LSU. I was showing you the clip before. Yeah. LSU head coach Jay Johnson a couple of weeks ago. LSU's, by the way, if the season were to end today, not making the tournament, and they just won the Natty. Jay Johnson down at LSU. We talk about roster construction. He had the quote of, hold on, I bookmarked it. I can pull it up here in just a second. So the quote that Jay Johnson had was, I made some massive mistakes in constructing the team. And in this 1 minute and 47 second clip back from April 18th, he basically talks about how in today's world, guys care only about exit velocity, launch angle, home run numbers, and the sexy stats, right? And he said, we got caught up in that as a staff, and I made some massive mistakes in constructing the team. That is at LSU. If that's the case at LSU, where you have access to so much talent, how much smaller is the margin for error at a place like Nebraska?
Yeah.
You have to know what you want to do. And I mean, granted, they're almost a 40-win ball club, and they're doing just fine.
They ought to win 40. If they don't, they'll win 40 games.
Yes.
And when Nebraska wins its 40th game this year, Will Bolt will have won 40 games more than Darren Erstad did in one fewer year. Darren Erstad only had one 40-win team at Nebraska. It was that 2014 group that finished second in the Big Ten. Let's get to Gino really quick on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. See what you will, but as a baseball guy, I've been underwhelmed by the job that Childress has done. Maybe I just expected too much. It's rarely as good the second time around. Is it? I don't think Rob Childress has lost his touch necessarily.
No.
But, is there a guy on staff as talented as Shane Comine? Is there a guy on staff as talented as Jabba Chamberlain, if that was, post Childress, or, Johnny Dorn, Pride of Grand Island, whatever? Like, maybe not. Plain and simple, though, Nebraska hasn't had that level of dude the second time around with Rob Childress. Certainly hasn't happened consistently. And this might be a very unfair way for me to judge and assess this program. But because of the lack of identity, consistent plan that's coherent, right? What do you want to do? What's the direction? What's your type of player that we haven't really heard articulated and acted upon in the same way? I'm left to judge it by the results because I'm having a hard time judging the process. And the reason that I appreciate the point you made, and I'm coming around to your line of thinking that Will Bolt has elevated the program in terms of the Big Ten being tougher.
Yeah.
A little tougher. Sure. I'm on board with that. I think it's been generally solid under Will Bolt, generally fine. But the reason that I feel underwhelmed is that it took the Big Ten tournament to get Nebraska to the tournament last year.
Gotcha.
And that speaks somewhat to my point of you should be a 3 seed at worst.
Yeah.
In a gettable Big Ten. I mean, even if you're the 5 seed, you have to play your way through the bracket, make it to the semis, maybe don't make the finals, whatever it is. There's not much reason to me that Nebraska baseball should be outside the field. Maybe, again, you're 35-20 22 or whatever at the end of the regular season and conference tournament. And it was a really good year for mid-majors or a really deep year in the ACC, whatever. But just seeing Nebraska's hopes and dreams hinge on the Big Ten tournament is an issue to me.
This will be the last thing I say before we have to go to break, obviously, is that when I kind of grimaced when you said 3 seed at worst, is because even at a 3 seed, you're kind of clinging on to what is going on outside of your conference.
Yeah.
Like, so,
but you're still a top 50 team in the country.
I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, Nebraska needs to get into a spot where no matter what happens in the Big 12 tournament, whatever, no matter what happens in the ACC and SEC conference tournaments, they're still in.
Yes.
And no matter what happens, because like I'm not trying to have a baseball program, and this sounds selfish. Like I'm not trying to have a baseball program that is hoping that Kentucky knocks off Ole Miss so that Nebraska's RPI is higher than Ole Miss's I don't want to have to cheer for outside things in order for Nebraska to find success.
Yeah.
Nebraska, I want Nebraska to find success.
Control its own destiny program.
Bingo. The same way it is this year.
Yeah.
And hopefully you have a better weekend this weekend against Iowa than you did against Ohio State.
Thunder Knot Collins has a comment on the text line we will get to. Also a big one up the road tonight. Going to be interesting. We'll pull you Husker fans. Who do you want to win tonight's game between Kansas and Creighton? We'll answer that. We'll talk about it in the last few minutes of Old School.
3, 2, 1. The drop is live. Screens freeze everywhere, except yours. You've been training for this moment. And with Allo Fiber's zero-lag precision, you strike first. No lag, no limits, just speed. Can your internet provider do that? Stay ahead of every drop. Visit allofiber.com/all-in.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Turn comfort into savings with Peak Rewards from LES. Enroll your smart thermostat to earn $25 while helping balance energy use with small short-term adjustments that benefit the whole community. Learn more at les.com/peak rewards.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
At Cedars, we're here to make sure that kids have the safety and stability that every child deserves, where they're protected and where they feel safe. You make this possible. Today, more than ever, we need your support to be here for kids who have nowhere else to call home. Now through May 28th, make a big impact through Give to Lincoln. Give to Cedars now at givetolincoln.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
This is Jordy Ball for Anderson Ford. For years, Anderson has relied on an exceptional customer experience. But just this once, they're going to rely on a really great pitch.
Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $197 per month for 36 months.
Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 1008753, $199 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 10,252 is 90, no security deposit required, tax, title, and license fees extra, residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 4/30/26.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up Old School here on a Tuesday. Austin Orman here. Nick Sainert had to jet out of here. Appreciate him being along for the ride for the first 2 hours and 55 minutes of the show. Again, Jay Foreman out all week. We'll have a ragtag merry band of Crusaders on Old School throughout the week. Normal great guests lined up throughout the course of the week as well. 402-464-5685. If you want to help be a part of the show, give me your thoughts, give me your takes. Would love to hear from you. On Nebraska baseball, we'll put a bow on this before we turn things over to Ticket Weeknights. Thunderknock Collins says, I'm with it on the Childress comment. Some days I'm left scratching my head. It seems like Nebraska has guys every year who are Friday night starters and then quickly find their way to the bullpen halfway through. Then other guys pop up and throw lights out. Now I'm bald. In terms of the Friday night comment, not necessarily true. Let's just go back to 2022 in reverse chronological order for when Rob Childress got back to Nebraska. He was elevated as pitching coach in 2023. But 2025, Nebraska got 17 starts from Ty Horn as the Friday guy. They got 15 starts from Jackson Brockett 17 starts, 15 starts from Horn and Brockett, and 13 starts from Will Walsh. Those two guys combined for 6 appearances out of the bullpen. The rotation was pretty well set for Nebraska last year. Okay, 2024 for the Huskers. You had Brett Sears, you had Mason McConaughey, then you had Drew Christo and Will Walsh. Really split the starting duties with some appearances from Jackson Brockett, from Ty Horn, and Caleb Clark as well, with one from Ryan Harahill. So not a lot of movement there. 2023 for Nebraska, you had Jace Kaminska make 14 starts. You had Dawson McCarville. Oh, no, that's next year. Sorry. It was Jace Kaminska on Saturdays. Emmett Olson on Fridays made 15 starts. And then you were dealing with the revolving door on Sundays. And then back to 2023, that's where Dawson McCarville pops up. He makes 12 appearances with 11 starts. Chase Shanneman with 15 appearances and 13 starts. And you were really bouncing back and forth between Emmett Olson. You got Cody Frank in there as well. 4 starts from Kyle Perry, too. So, no, Nebraska hasn't had an epidemic of Friday guys having to move to the pen, which is why it was such a big deal when Ty Horn did. Now, you try different guys at different times. I think of Will Walsh, right? Back and forth. He was just nails in the Big Ten tournament for whatever reason, just one of those things in sports that you can't necessarily explain. But yeah, Nebraska's really often had a Friday guy that's been pretty darn good near the tops of the Big Ten pitcher of the race leaderboard. They've usually had a Saturday guy that's gotten them through and been pretty solid under Childress, solid to really dang good for a Saturday guy with some promise to move up to the Friday guy role. And then Sundays and midweeks have been really the issue, but it's hard to find that much starting pitching. And so as far as the concerns, I'm not quite there with you, Thunderknock Collins. Denny says it's simple. Just win, boys. Don't think, just win. Don't talk about it, just win. Well, Then you got to talk about it a little bit to set the plan to win and set the expectation, set the direction for the program. Then on the Kansas-Creighton question, they're just about to have first pitch up there in Omaha. Hammond Bean says, a dumb question. As a Husker fan, you should never cheer for the Jayhawks. Maybe cheer for them to lose them all. Go Big Red. I tend to agree. My feelings on that program to the east and slightly north are very clear at this point, I hope. On the one hand, Kansas beats Creighton. It, looks like a better loss for you. Creighton's still near the top of the Big East standings. Creighton beats Kansas, though. It devalues, maybe a little bit of Nebraska's losses to Kansas because they're still in head-to-head competition for one of the Final Four, I would guess, regional hosting spots, Final Three, Final Four spots. So I do think you're probably pulling for Kansas to win this game. But if Creighton beats Kansas and then you turn around and end up taking the season series with a sweep from Creighton, that goes a long way as well, I think, for Nebraska. So either way, big game going on up in Omaha with some down-the-line Nebraska ramifications. Been an incredible show. Appreciate Nick sitting in. Appreciate all of you with your involvement, your texts on our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. We'll be back with more of Old School tomorrow.
Seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
We hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and